Price of freedom is death. We're coming to get our check.
As you guys are coming in, let me share this space out. Come on, let's get in here. Let's get in here. Let's have a conversation without all of the hostility. Not sure where all of that came from. Okay, I'm gonna send him. Let's do this. Let's do this the proper way, the right way, the way we're supposed to. If everybody can share this space so we can get our numbers up, I'm not gonna be on that long at all. I'm not gonna be on that long whatsoever. I just want to share this space to get a couple of the people in this room. Because what I'm not about to do is I'm not about to be disrespected. You're not about to use my tweet to make a room and then not let me speak when the space is about something I said. I'm not about to do that. That's not about to happen. No. And I'm not taking the tweet down with no. Okay. Let's be real. If we have the understanding that the code is the leader and nobody is bigger than the code, then that means I'm not going to, if I am in the correct, if I'm in the right, which almost over 1,000 people agreed that I'm incorrect with that statement, then that means that I'm not going to take it down because someone was clearly triggered. And this is no diss to Marcel. This isn't me beefing with Marcel. This is me making my own space because it was my tweet that I made that stored up all this controversy. Okay, let me reiterate this for the ones who didn't hear exactly what I said in the other space. Okay, I made the tweet, message for black men. You can't be a leader if you're broke. Focus on getting your weight up. That is what I said, and I stand by that. Why I stand by that is because in order to be a man who has leadership requires respect. Proper leadership requires respect. That requires you to be a protector and provider to some degree. You're going to have to make things move. Nothing moves just by you wanting it to. Nothing moves just by the will of the people. Finances need to move. You need to be able to at least control your own finances to control your own life. You cannot be a leader if you are not qualified for the leadership position. Now, this does not mean that you being, and I will explain this in much further detail on YouTube actually Thursday. So actually, let me put that in the Jumbotron and make sure that you guys check my broadcast out this Thursday evening at 7 o'clock Central. Please make sure, innocent plug. But the thing is that you're not going to be able to lead anything unless you have finances. That's just the cut and dry of it. I understand 110% why black men are not in that situation. It is not me victim blaming for me to acknowledge the position that we're in, for me to acknowledge what we can't do. We cannot do these things, okay, if we do not have the finances. For instance, the rally in D.C., you're going to need money to get to the rally. You're going to need money to either get the plane. You're going to need money to either get the tickets. We're talking about pulling up summer. You need money to participate and pull up summer. You need money to get there. How are you going to participate and pull up summer? Oh, I can't participate and pull up summer because if I skip out on my job, I'm going to be short my rent money. You're financially struggling. That limits the ability that you can do. That limits what you can do. That's just the realism of real life. As black men, we have to understand that. You can get in a position where you are not financially struggling. You do not have to be Jeff Bezos. You do not have to be rich to be in that position, but you can be in a position where you're living a somewhat stable life. And that's what the situation is. You cannot lead if you are broke. Why can you not lead if you are broke? And this is not me attacking the brothers, okay? I understand 100%. But you cannot lead when you are broke because you cannot control yourself. You as a leader, you are the one in charge in controlling the direction. You cannot control the direction of your followers if you cannot control the direction of yourself. If you can't control where you live, you're not going to be that much help to somebody else who is poor. If you need to borrow money for somebody else to get your rent paid, there's not that much you can do when it comes to funding a campaign. More than that, people are not going to pay attention to you. That's just the realistic truth of it. People are not, as a black man, and I need all of our black men to understand this, you are not going to be fully respected if you are a broke black man. That's just the long and short of it. Because let me ask you, if you're a broke black man, what makes what you say, the direction that you're trying to lead people in, the more correct direction than somebody else? Because everybody else has ideas, everybody else is preaching. If what makes one homeless person's ideology more sound than another homeless person's ideology? You can't tell. What, as a black man and as a leader, you need to lead by example. So you need to be the representative of the fact that your ideology works for you and it can work for your people. And there's a lot of foundational black Americans who are not financially struggling. 100% of financial black I said financial, foundational black Americans are not broke and poor. We have some people in this space who are not broke and poor. I don't understand where this idea that we're all broken poor. We're not all broken poor. We might be the poorest collectively in the country, but that does not mean we're all broke and poor. Okay, let me ask you, Tariq Nasheed, do you think he would be able to pull off the things that he does if he was broke? Jason Black, do you think he'd be able to pull off the things that he does if he was broke? When I went to South Carolina, funded completely by myself to help Marcel for his campaign, and mind you, this is not me throwing any shots, but I funded that entire trip by myself. You know, the 13-hour trip there, the 13-hour trip back, the hotel room, the gas, and everything. Do you think I would be able to do that if I was financially struggling, if I was broke? No, I wouldn't be able to do that because it takes finances and resources in order for you to move in certain ways. If you don't have these things, you can want whatever you want to. You can be as wise and noble and have as great of a character as you may want, but you don't have the ability to do it. You might know how to swim. If you do not have arms, you can't swim. That might be bullying. That might be mean for me to say. But what's more mean is for me to say, yeah, armless boy, jump in the pool and you can swim as long as you put your mind to it and watch them drown. I said, get your weight up. I didn't say sit down. I didn't say shut up. I didn't say there's nothing you can do. I said, get your weight up. I said, you want to be a leader, then you have to get in a position to be a leader. If you want to swim, you have to learn how to swim. That's what I said. The fact that there's, and I'm going to break this down on my video Thursday, so make sure you watch that because it's going to be a whole themed video, and I'm actually very excited for it. But the fact that that tweet has gotten so many black men, mind you too, go look at all of the hundreds of dislikes and hateful comments of that tweet. You don't see any women. You really don't see any women saying, oh, I want my man to be broke. My man can be broke and still lead me. You don't see him saying that. Even the women saying, oh, well, he might be broke, but I mean, he don't have to stay that way. Yeah, because women don't want their men to stay broke. They might stick with you if you fall on hard times, of course. But if you say, well, I fell on hard times and this is just what it is, she's not going to accept that. Women don't want a broke black man. That's why you don't see any women saying I'm broke shaming. You don't see women saying I'm broke shaming. They sit up there applauding and agreeing like, yeah, man, get your weight up. This is just real life. I hate to be the one to tell you. I'm sorry I'm the one to tell you, but this is just real life. And this isn't a diss to Marcel, so don't be going running back there like, Afro Lee's been dissing you the whole space, Marcel. You got to get him. Don't do that. Do not do that. But with that being said, let's get to the hands. I know, Jay Winfield, you had your hand up in the other space. You can go ahead.
Nah, yeah, I was gonna say I agree with you. You know, Jason, the Black Authority, Jason Black, he has, YouTube channel called The Business, and he's actually, put other black men on, talked to them, gave them actionable steps on how they can double their income, how they can get their credit right, what financial decisions are prudent, which are not. From he's held workshops from IT to getting your CDL, and these are skills that you can't you're not expendable in the workforce. Me, I went to college. I got my degree in accounting. I'm an auditor, and I'm working on getting my CPA. Me getting my CPA, that could put me, in a position where I'm gonna have to rely on employers to, hire or fire me and stuff like that. I can just make my own moves, but the way I see fit, being financially competent. And it's like, I think what I said, I think that might have maybe triggered myself, because all I said was, a lot of dudes don't want to put in the extra work to be excellent in all capacities, and you hear a lot of broke nigga babble, and maybe I guess he misinterpreted what I said, but I wasn't, downing black men as a race, on being impoverished from, the white supremacist system. I was just saying, like, some dudes who are able to excel and get it, and they choose not to, that's on them. That's a broke mentality. Personal, I don't like to get personal, but with me, I had a stepfather who didn't want to work. He was putting in job applications and stuff like that to find employment, and then he just gave up. And, that had a cataclysmic effect on the family. With me, my brothers, my sisters, and we was, evicted. And I'm just like, dude, like, how you married to my mom, you the man in the house, and you talking about some, well, it's hard, they're not trying to hire me, and you just kind of gave up. See, you can't have that kind of mentality. That's, yeah, but that's all I got to say.
Thank you. And it's more the mentality, the getting your weight up. I'm not saying you got to be rich, but you have to have $1 million plan. You got to be a go getter. You have to be ambitious. You have to be at least trying to do something. You're trying to do something. If you're saying it's 100% justified that I'm broke because of because of lack of reparations or because of racism, okay, yeah, you broke, and it's your fault to fix it. I'm sorry your life got to be that way. My life is that way as well too. We're all in that same boat. We don't have white privilege, but we still got to find a way to put food on the table. If I don't have any kids, but for the people who have kids, you can't go to your kids, I'm sorry, son, I'm sorry, daughter, I can't feed you today because of racism. They can't eat that. It doesn't matter to them. The excuses only go so far, and I'm not blaming black men for being in that position. Okay, and before we get to the black business insider, oh yeah, anything can happen. Yeah, you can fall on hard times. We understand that, but when you fall on hard times, you get back up and you overcome again. It's the deal we've been dealt, but it's just the cards we have to play. And
I,
it's unwise to advise black men not to accept that fact and try to adapt. That's unwise and unrealistic and unproductive. You know, um,
I would just want to, add that, us as black men, being in a hostile society, dominated by white supremacy, it's nothing, we can't expect nothing short of excellence. Like, we gotta, no matter how hard things get, we always gotta keep doing it and doing it. And, until that system is replaced, with a system of justice, like, this is the situation that we're in, and there's no excuses. And we can't just flat out and just give up and say, oh, well, racism and, bootstrapism and stuff like that. But yeah, that's I land my plane there.
okay. Let me. You know what? I'm gonna save it for YouTube. I'm gonna save it for YouTube because I was about to address this. Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were broke. Malcolm X and Martin Luther. That's y'all excuse. Okay, I'm gonna address that on YouTube. I'm gonna save that for YouTube. Y'all catch me Thursday. The Black Business Insider. You can go ahead.
Hey, what's going on, brother? And what's going on,
How you
Ron?
doing?
I think I disagree with you as far as the black men can't lead. I believe we can. I believe that most of us, statistically speaking, aren't broke. 56% of us are in the middle class. Only about 12 to 13% of us fluctuate in and out of the poverty zone. Um, and I also believe that it speaks to elitism, and elitism is it speaks to elitism, and that is a very dangerous mindset for society in general, because it shows that okay, only a certain percentage of us who have been lucky enough to reach a certain goal can lead. It's like, no, we could crowd fund, we can all get on the same page and move towards the same goal. I'm not broke, what I mean, because I'm not a millionaire or the 1% or the 10%, 15%, but I can still crowdfund, which we've always done. And with the Malcolm X and the and Martin Luther King thing, the majority of what they did was provided by Black people putting toward basically crowdfunding for them to move the way they moved, and putting towards a little bit at a time. And I think that's why people feel some kind of way, because it speaks to a dead trope that most of us are broke, most Black men are broke, poor, X, Y, and Z. That's not true. Um, and it speaks to elitism, which most people are going to turn their eye away, because that only the tantamount to only the 1% of us can make decisions at X, Y, and Z because they have a certain amount of money. And it's just like, no, if we all, first of all, I'm against leadership anyway, because we need a movement that we're all on board. Leaders can be co-opted, targeted, and on a militaristic standpoint, it just doesn't make sense as well. You don't want any centralized leadership. Everything needs to move and shake. Everybody has to be a leader in their own sense to keep the movement going, because if somebody falls, we still have the movement in general to keep everything moving forward. So that's where I stand at on it.
Okay, let me ask you a question. You're saying like elitism. Who, where are you getting the idea that I say you have to be like rich or something like that? Because that's a lot of people have been saying that. Oh, you got to be, rich or Jeff Bezos. Where is that coming from? There's a nuance between being broke and then being rich. There's a lot of room in between. And there is a room in between where you're able to be flexible enough with your time and energy to where you're comfortable, to where if something happens to you, like if your car breaks down or something like that, you won't be $1,000 in debt if that happens. There are plenty of, like you just admitted, Black Americans that are not broke. I mean, there are plenty of Black Americans who are not broke. So I don't understand how I'm saying how you're this as this if you just said that there are plenty Black Americans or most Black Americans aren't broke. Because I never said rich.
So we talk about the nuances of not broke. So I'm going by the poverty line that's set in this country. Most people make at or above, but most people in this country, Black men included, make around between $50,000 to $65,000 a year. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
lower than that actually is
Okay.
more around 40 to 50, but okay.
All right. 40 to 50, but that is above the poverty line. So what I'm saying is that when you make certain statements like broke, it's like, well, okay, it just lends itself to again the old trope that we aren't making money and we aren't making moves, which most of us are. And when I
Who
say
said no? It
elitist,
does not lend to that, sir. That's
it does.
incorrect.
If most people are going to see it that way, you know what I mean, and,
Most
and and
people,
most
the
people
people
are.
who saw it that way got emotionally bothered because the shoe fit them. And now I hate to say it like
But the
that, but
shoe's
that's
going to,
just the
but
truth.
but the shoe's going to fit most Americans, let alone Black
The
people,
shoe
Black
is not
men.
going to fit most
Yes,
Americans.
yes,
I'm
it
not
is.
a
Most
baller at
Americans in
all,
this
and
country,
I didn't get offended. The
75%.
sir, sir, that the post almost got the tweet. I mean, almost got 1,000 likes, and there was a lot of people applauding, sharing, retweeting, and agreeing. So it clearly doesn't apply to a select few amount of Black Americans.
Sir, like I said, the code lends itself to elitism by saying that by attaching itself to an old trope that Black men ain't got each other and we broke, we can't do X, Y, and Z. Most people, even if they're in the above the poverty line, in the middle class, are still struggling paycheck to paycheck. But what we can do, what we always have done, is crowdfund. We could
Can
put
I
a
ask you a
little bit.
question?
Go ahead.
Can I ask you? Okay, so if I said Black men can't lead if they're stupid, is that lending itself to the trope that most Black men are stupid?
Yes, it is.
Okay, how is that lending that? That's sir. That's
you're
not.
spewing, you're spewing a very racist trope that has been spread about
Sir,
black
okay,
men
sir, hold
for
on,
for decades.
sir, hold on.
Sir, you keep
That's not
telling me,
lending that self
Afro,
to a
Afro
that,
elite. Hey,
sir,
brother, respectfully,
sir,
respectfully,
sir,
brother, respectfully, brother. I
sir.
got
First
respect for
off,
you. Can I finish my? Can I land my plane?
go
Respectfully.
ahead, go ahead.
Yes, it does. By dog whistling and saying stupid, broke, X, Y, and Z, or like you did earlier, saying black women don't want, by dog whistling certain things, you are you are by and large using very, white supremacist and anti-black terms to, to push forward again this elitist idea that only the top tier of us who make whatever however way you may just, whatever tier you're using to lead, and that's not cool.
Okay, let me. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing, brother. Um, the narrative that not pitying all black men all the time 100% is somehow anti-black or a white supremacist talking point. By not acting like black men are completely helpless and sorry all the time is somehow anti-black and a white supremacist talking point is completely disrespectful, to be honest. Black men have been able to accomplish incredible things, foundation black Americans specifically, incredible things under extremely hardships, under extremely bad conditions and hardships. So to say you can't do that if you're broke, that's not a white. That's not saying that most of us aren't working hard, and that's not even me saying that the system isn't against us. Like I said before, it doesn't matter why you don't have any limbs. If somebody cut your limbs off, if you were born without limbs, or you had a disease, it doesn't matter why your limbs don't work. If they don't work, you can't swim. That's
But
just the reality. And we have to get out of this position where, as black men, we want to pacify each other's feelings for the lack of capability. Now, there are a number of black men who are not in that position, as you just admitted. So if there's a number and most broke, but me and you just both admitted that. So how's me saying a broke black man can't lead? How is that me saying that? How is that a white supremacist talking point? That's like me saying a drug dealer shouldn't watch children. Oh, so you're saying that most fathers are drug dealers? No, that's not. How are you?
because
I don't understand how all of this reaching is going on. This
it's
a
not.
lot of reaching going on.
Listen, brother, it's not reaching. It's pretty simple. If
No,
most of,
sir, it's not simple. No,
I'm not going to make a statement that for the most part isn't true unless I'm trying to latch
what
myself on to.
statement did I
The
make that
statement
was
is
not
that
true,
broke.
sir?
That black men that broke black men can't lead because
Okay,
most
well,
black
let me
men
ask you. Okay, let me ask you.
because most
What is
black
your
men.
definition of
Give me
leading?
one
So
second.
let's be clear. Let's be
Mhm.
clear. What is your definition of leading?
Leading, as in, again, whatever we decide as FBA to do, what I mean, being sticking to the code, what I mean, being on
I,
code across the board, and donating to the movements that we, donating whatever we can, sticking to the code. But back to
No,
let's
and that's
backtrack.
and
Let's
see,
backtrack
we
a little bit.
agree. We 100% agree. We 100% agree, brother.
Let's backtrack
Hold
here
on,
a little bit. Let's
because the
backtrack.
thing, before we go there, we 100% agree, because I didn't say you can't be on code if you're broke. You can be on code. You can be a good person. You can be a great soldier. You just can't be a leader. There's different roles to play, but if you do not qualify for the leadership position, then you're just not a leader. That doesn't mean you're useless, and
Okay,
that
but
doesn't make you off code.
so what qualifies? What would qualify? And because you made and is your tweet in your room. What would qualify? What amount does a black man have to or make just annually to be qualified to be a leader in whatever we decide to do?
Whatever amount makes him not financially struggling. It depends. Like, oh, you know what? If
Okay,
y'all want
so
a number so
by
bad, I'm gonna
that
say
logic, by that logic,
$100,000. If y'all want a number so badly, I'm gonna say $100,000. I want y'all to know that this is very emotional explaining talk right now. This is very emotional
I'm
explaining
being
talk
very
right now, my brother.
pragmatic, sir. I'm being very pragmatic with you. I'm not using
No,
ad
sir, because you're
hominem.
asking for a
I'm
number
not
and you're
using.
being
Yes,
obtuse, knowing
because I'm a
that there's
yes.
no
We need numbers.
specific number.
If you're gonna make a blanket term that most that broke black men can't lead, then let's put some numbers to it, brother.
Hold on.
I'm not
Repeat
being
that. Repeat what you
emotional.
just
I'm
said.
respecting
Repeat
you.
what you just said, sir.
I said by making a blanket term and a racist term and a white supremacist term, you know what I mean, by saying that broke black men can't lead.
No,
By
no, no,
saying,
no. Go back. Because you
I said,
said I said most black men can't lead. I never said most black
sir,
men
but
can't lead.
you're being purposefully obtuse.
No, no,
You know
no. See,
that
you're
statement
taking the
was to talk
situation. Your
about most
feelings are hurt,
black.
sir.
No,
You're
no,
taking
not
the
at all, brother.
situation
You
and
cutting
you're
me off.
putting words in my mouth. I didn't say most black men can't lead. Me and you both agreed that most black men are not broke like that. So how is me saying that broke black men can't lead? How is me saying that's most? If I say homeless black men can't lead, you can't lead if you're homeless. Is that me saying that most black men are homeless? No, most black men are not homeless.
Again, like I
You
said,
just
you
you
made
just
the
told on
point.
yourself,
You
actually.
no, I didn't. I'm pretty clear on what I'm saying.
No, sir,
Your
because you
intent,
just
your
said I
thought
said
was
something that I didn't say.
whistling an old trope that black men are broke and we can't. And then you're saying we can't
I'm
lead when
whistling an
most of
old
us. Then
trope
why would
by
you make
saying
this
you can't
statement?
do. Okay, so if I
If
say
most
you
of us
can't buy
aren't,
a house if
listen,
you're
by
broke,
logic. Let's follow
is
the
that,
logic here. Let's
sir,
follow logic. Let's follow the logic, and then I'm gonna land my
sir,
plane. Let's follow the logic.
go ahead and land your plane, sir.
If most black men aren't broke, then
Say that one more time.
then if most black men aren't broke, then why make a post saying that broke black men keep knowing that you are attaching yourself to a trope that they spew about us, and which is going to get people in their feelings and in their bag. You were doing that
Okay,
purposefully for
one of the
clicks.
other things that most that prevents a lot, and I'm not gonna say most black men from leading, is the lack of emotional discipline. There are a lot of black men who are not emotionally disciplined, and we can see in these recent spaces there are a lot of black men whose comprehension skills are that of children, and I'm not pointing this at anybody in particular, but who
By
are
pointing black
deliberately
men, you're making
obtuse,
another statement. You're
who
pointing
are
it at black.
deliberately I'm the host, all right? Okay, so when I speak, you don't speak. Okay? There are a lot of black men who are deliberately missing the point because they felt offended. They felt like hit dogs holler by that post. If you're a black man and you are not financially struggling, there is no reason at all to be offended by that post, to be triggered by that post. None whatsoever. And I'm not even saying you necessarily, but black men are offended. Black men are triggered by that post because it applies to them. And I'm saying I get that. I understand that. I understand we live in a system of white supremacy. I preach about these things. I preach about the hardships that black people go through. However, it's our responsibility to make sure we get out of that. And that's
Can I
just the
respond?
reality, sir.
May I respond, sir, without being interrupted?
Go ahead.
All right. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, he moved from one point to the one point, saying that most of us first we can't lead because we're broke, and then when that's disproved, now we're being emotional and unstable, which
Okay.
is another. Hold on, brother. You talked. Who's being
First off,
emotional?
I can keep talking, and I don't like to play the mute thing, but don't hold on like we're peers in this space, okay? Because you misquoted me. You keep saying I said most. I'm not saying most at all. Go ahead.
Brother, you're being very emotional about me. Let me land my plane, and then you can
No, you're
talk.
being rude and disrespectful. This is my
I'm very
space,
not,
and
sir.
you
I'm
need to
being
respect the
pragmatic. You're
host.
sir, I'm respecting you. You're the one that's just,
Sir,
muting
when I
me and
speak,
calling
you
me
stop
rude.
speaking. That is the respect you give the host.
No, sir, you're speaking, and you stop speaking when somebody is rebuttaling you, sir. That's rude.
Finish your point.
Like I said, so before I was rudely interrupted, like he moves around. And he says that now because the whole point of us being broken can't lead, which is most of us aren't broke. You know what I mean? And we can lead. We've been leading, and even the ones who are broke or for whatever reason, aren't having don't have access to funds like they should. They still donate to the movement and they still stick to the code. But then once I said that, you move and say that now we're being emotional. So that leads to the whole, again, another trope: black men are emotionally unstable. We can't handle criticism. We've been dealing with criticism for a couple hundred years, sir. So we definitely can. Again, your logic is flawed, and you're tying yourself up whistles
Are
for
all
whatever
okay?
reason.
Can I ask a question,
And
then?
and like I said, it is what it is, brother. But
Are
you're
all
wrong.
black
You're wrong.
men capable of leading? Yes or no? All, A-L-L, are all black men capable of leading?
Yes.
Every single black man is a capable leader?
In some way, in some fashion or way, yes,
That's a yes or no question, sir.
Yes,
Every
they can, sir. Yes,
single,
they can.
because there's no
Yes, they
in
can.
some
I
way.
believe that my brothers can lead. Put in the right position, they will
Sir,
lead.
I'm asking a question for a reason. Is every single black man a capable and an efficient leader?
Yes, sir. Given the proper tools, training, and access. Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, you're saying every black man is efficient in leading if you give them what they need and you change them into becoming a leader. Well, if that's the case, sir, then everybody is everything. Sir, I'm stating as right now, when we're talking right this second, is as they are all black men capable leaders?
I'm not going to keep repeating myself, brother.
No, because you just said yes, but if you change some, then the answer is
yes,
no.
yes, wholeheartedly, yes.
Okay, so yes, without any changing, without any alteration, all black men are leaders.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir, do you know how leaders of who?
Of the black community.
If all black men were leaders of the black community, we would not be in this position today, sir.
Okay,
Sir. Okay, so you believe? Let me ask you: do you know what you said when you said all? So you're saying Roland Martin? You're saying all of these coons that we've been fighting against? You're saying they're capable leaders as well, too, sir.
What I'm saying is this: is that we're not going to make blanket old racist trope statements about black men, and then think you're going to get away unscathed. That's not cool, brother. Again, 40% of course. Listen, most of us are leading, and most of us doing a damn good job. The stats.
Then why are you triggered? Then why are you triggered, sir?
Because we're tired of Negroes like yourself coming around and spewing bullshit about us, and then trying to
bro. I'm first off, okay, sir. Let me ask you a question. You're a business owner, right?
Yes, sir.
What business do you own?
I own a consulting business, sir.
Okay. You own a consulting business, and that's good for you. I want more black men to be in that position. Are there things that you can do with your consulting business and the money and resources that you have that other black man that works at Taco Bell, are there things that you can do that he cannot do?
Yeah, but
what do you mean? It's a
yes,
sir.
Yes, sir. He can, and there's things that I can do that he can do that I can't do.
Like what? Make a Doritos Locos Tacos, sir.
So me owning my business means I have absolutely no time with my family, no days off.
So, okay.
I'm 110% involved in it. Him being whatever position he is, he still has that ability to, at least spend time with his family or do whatever extra recreation.
That you're not. I don't know why you're doing this, sir. But we're gonna have to move on to the hand. So you're saying that there are some power moves. Not just some, he's more free on the weekends than you are. There are some power moves. If somebody wanted to make a business plan, if somebody wanted to make some power moves, they would flip a coin between going to you and going to the damn taco maker at Taco Bell.
What I'm saying is that given
so he is your. Are you saying he is your peer?
He is my peer. Yes.
He is the man who. Okay.
This is the code. He is my peer. Because I understand we suffer in the same system. And it is
sir, but you guys don't have the same capabilities, sir.
Sir, you keep, again, but I can reach back down to him and give him the code. And
you can give it to him, but he doesn't have it. That's the difference, sir.
And guess what?
Sir, he doesn't have it, sir.
The statement you made was BS, brother, and I'm not going to go back.
Sir, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. I am not going to go back and forth with you. This dude said, I said, first off, and here's the thing about these black, me into Jason Black, damn it. These black dudes who's raised by single mamas and who can't take discipline, okay? Damn, where is it? Can somebody please tag TBA? Because Lord have mercy, these black men who don't have any discipline at all. When I say there are things that you can do, oh, well, that hurt my feelings. So that's an anti-black racist trope. We're going to have to stop that, okay? We live in a system of supremacy. I've been preaching that a lot longer than some of the people who've been against me, mind you. I've been preaching that for a long time, given the statistics and everything. However, as a black man, it is your job to overcome and adapt to that. If most black men are not broke, then I'm referring to the few black men who are not in a position to lead. If most people have arms and can swim, then if I say if you don't have arms, you can't swim, that's referring to the ones who don't have arms and can't swim. You are saying that this person is saying that I've been defeated, and I asked him, are every single black man a capable leader? He said yes. Every single black man is a capable leader. So I'm not even saying that. I'm not even saying all rich black men are a capable leader. I'm not saying that at all. Well, all black men are right now a capable leader if you change some of the ones who aren't a capable leader. Sir, you don't know what you're talking about, sir. But you can stay on. You can stay on. But me and you've been going back and forth for a while. So let's get to some of the other hands. If the ladies, if y'all disagree, throw the deuces up. I want to see how many ladies disagree. Can you throw the deuces up if you disagree? If you feel like your man who is broke, who's making a quarter of the money you're making, if you feel like he can lead you properly, you making $60,000 and he's making $20,000 a year, you feel like he should be the leader. He should be the one calling the shots because he knows what's best. Throw the deuces up if I'm wrong. Oh, wow. Okay. Ogum Spear, you can go ahead.
Thank you, brother. Much respect. And I was going off, it's on a little bit too much. And he had too much time, man. And it was more of a case of, it sounded like hit dogs holler.
And that's why I let him up there, because I want y'all to see this dude didn't make any sense. But keep going.
And, I knew exactly what you meant when you said it. You know what I mean? I didn't take no kind of offense for it. I'm not rich or wealthy, you know what I mean? But I do have enough resources to be able to do something, to be able to actually show up when I need to show up, like put money on, billboards, or put money on the black media very often and things like that, And so I didn't take poverty shaming. I don't know how people got that at all. I got a strengthening, motivational message. I got a chant like, brothers, let's get it. I didn't get nothing other than that. So I just wanted to lend my voice and let you know that I feel you on that, bro. I know where you got that quote or something similar to that quote from. So come on. I'm not offended.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you. Let's see. I want to get to who had their hand up. Then we'll go to Jay Winfield and then Lawrence. Jay Winfield, you can go ahead.
Nah. I just don't see how the tweet is just getting blown out of proportion. Like, I mean, it's just, you're not asking people to be like, have millions of dollars in a bank account. You just need to be in a position financially where you're able to make moves on your own and you won't be in a vulnerable spot. So, I mean, I don't know why that's, triggering a lot of dudes and stuff like that. You just got to step, like you said, get your weight up. And that should be motivating. Like, as black men, you should wake up wanting to excel and do better and live a better quality of life. Like, I don't see where the disconnect is. But, that's just me. I land my plane there.
Thank you. Lawrence, you can go ahead.
What's up, brother Afro? Yeah, I was in the other space as well, and uh, you know, we got to get past this point to where we don't take accountability for anything at the end of the day. White supremacy is very much will, systematic racism, all the stuff that we know and talk about every day on these apps. No one denies that. Those things are very much prevalent. You said something in your post over there, get your weight up. And I'm with you with that 100%. Despite the things that are against us, we still have the ability and do our best to get our weight up. You know what I'm saying? And you made a good analogy. If you don't have arms, if you don't have legs, you cannot swim. That's just the truth. That's not even debatable. So what do? You try to think. I don't care if you got the freaking float over to a damn ring in the pool, them little float rings to try to stay above the water. You got to do something at the end of the day. Because there are a great many black men who have fought against the odds and still do daily, even though it's us, and get to a certain level to where they can not be broke, to where they can provide for their families, to where they can lead in certain regards. But it takes the work. You know what I'm saying? I put it in the jumbotron, and this is no way to pop my collar. But there was a moment where I didn't have shit, nothing, zero, zilch, nada, not even a car. I got my first house with how to invest in real estate with money and no credit. 6 houses later from that moment, that's me under the house running electricity after finding stuff on the damn Craigslist and used and everything else to catapult me into a successful real estate investor. But that's how I had to start. I had to get my weight up despite the system. The system is me not being able to walk into a bank and take out a $200,000 loan. That's systematic. You know what I'm saying? Or to not having the collateral or the resources, the credit to, and whatever. But I had to get the weight up. So I think you were right. And sometimes dogs holler, and we need to start being accountable for our actions at the end of the day. We got to make that happen. So I'm 100% with you, Afro.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, before I want to hear from the sister, okay? We have Not So Anonymous. I want to hear from you, sister. What do you think about this?
Um, I agree with what you said. As far as he needs to get his weight up. A lot of times, I feel like nowadays in our society, the men try to get a woman to kind of like submit to nothing. Like, what am I submitting to? You know, do you have a plan laid out? What am I following? What am I following? What's the plans? What's the goals? What are we doing? So if you don't have the basic understanding that you need some type of income in order for me just to blindly, and well, I won't say blindly, but for me just to kind of like submit to you and just to follow you and to trust you, you have to have some type of money to kind of support us. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of arguments and disagreements because it's just like a power struggle. So it's just that's kind of what I took from it. I don't want to be with a man who's still trying to figure out how he's gonna pay the bills and stuff. You're supposed to have this stuff figured out before you get with me.
Exactly. Thank you. Now, as far as the relationships go, let me say this to the brothers before we move on to the hands. As far as the relationships go, what makes a woman feel like, and this women just in general won't be able to feel like they are safe with you financially, that they know that you can handle the situation if every time the rent comes up, you're short, you're behind on rent. Okay, you're borrowing her car, you're living off of her rent. She's pulling forth more of the finances than you because you're not capable of doing. So what makes your decision more wise than her decision? Why should you be in the leadership position if you're
Correct.
farther behind in the line? If you can't catch up to where she is in life, if you're not as stable as she is in life, why should she follow your lead? Women will think that. And this isn't for me to say, man, if you fall down on hard times, then she's going to leave you, she's going to cheat on you. I'm not saying that. I'm saying a lot of women, a lot of our sisters, they will stick with you while you're getting yourself together, but you still got to be get together. She got to see you getting yourself together. She has to see that ambition and drive still in you. She's not going to accept, well, I just lost my job, baby, and this is just how it is now. I'm working at Burger King, and this is the life we live from now on. So I'm just going to need you to kind of pay 50%. No, sorry, 70% of the bills from now on. From now on, this is just permanently how it's going to be. And if
I
you,
mean,
because I can't do it anymore. Burger King's not paying that much.
I mean,
She's
it
not going to
depends.
respect that.
And it depends on the woman, honestly. I don't think that's black and white when it comes to that, because there's some women that don't mind going 50-50. For me,
I did hold on, but I didn't say 50-50. I said 70-30.
70. Yeah, well, what I'm saying is, well, whether it's 70-30, I am one of those women who are like, all right, 70-30, because I just don't believe in a man just paying 100% of the bills. That comes with too much. I've been in that position where it's just kind of like, I will never, do that again.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this goes a little bit less when it comes to bills. Would you be with a man, even if you paid most of the bills, would you be with a man that if you left him, he would be homeless? That he couldn't pay more than 30% of the bills? Not that he's not, whatever y'all agree on, that's what y'all agree on, but he couldn't do any more than 30%. Is that a man you're going to respect? And not because he got like disabled or whatever, just because he said, "Hey, baby, this is just it. I'm at Dunkin' Donuts and this is just where I'm staying."
No, because that's not where I want to be. I want to achieve more, so no, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Okay, you get knocked down, you got to get back up. That's just the way the world works. It has always worked like that, and it will always work like that. It's not our fault we're in this position. It's not our fault we're victims of racism. That's not our fault whatsoever. But I mean, it is what it is, so we have to adapt to it. Now I'm gonna let you finish. I'm gonna let you land your point, and then I'm gonna move on to the hands.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's get to OG Keys.
Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, brother, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you letting me speak, brother. Um, I my take on it is, brother, that everything is based on your mentality. If because being thinking, if you're broke, if you're thinking broke, that's where you're gonna stay, just about. But if you're thinking power, then you can move forward in that. You can lead uh based on where your mentality is. So I don't think a person that's broke minded can lead anybody anywhere. You follow what I'm
You
saying?
know,
So go ahead, brother.
and let me touch on that. Being broke, and I want to say that being broke or broken is more than just your finances. He brought up broke mentality. I might have made a very bad business investment. I might have bought a property or a business, and then for whatever reason, that business it burned down, and I lost the business, or somebody stole my car, or something like that happened. But I have the mentality of, okay, my car gets stolen, I'm gonna get another car. My business burned down, I'm gonna rebuild it, or I'm gonna just buy another business. Okay, that's an ambitious mentality, which will always fix your financial situation when you have an ambitious mentality and a will to go get it.
That's correct.
And that's what you need as a leader. That's a key characteristic of leadership. If you don't have those things, you are not fit to lead. And let's be honest, all black men, let's keep it real, all black men are not leaders.
That's right.
Okay, I don't know where that's come from. All black men, we all leaders. I'm a leader, you a leader, doing good enough as is, brother. No, you're not. You are not doing good enough as is. What you making $10,000 a year? Okay, you sitting up there sweeping up front, and I'm not listen, I used to work at McDonald's. I'm not trying to demean people who work at McDonald's. I'm not trying to demean people who are working at retail. I'm not trying to do that. But I'm trying to say you have to seek yourself doing better. You have to get your weight up. When I was flipping burgers at McDonald's, I didn't say I was going to be here for that much longer. I'm flipping these burgers and I'm putting these fries in the damn bucket and I'm sitting on myself like, yeah, I'm not going to be here that much longer. I'm moving up in the world. This is not my peak at all. When I was stocking shelves at Target, I'm saying this is not where I peaked at all. When I was unloading boxes at Amazon, not Amazon. I did work at Amazon, but at UPS, I said this is not my peak. My peak is much higher than this. That's what I'm saying to the black men, getting your weight up. But you can go ahead and finish.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna land my plane here, but I remember, when you listen to Tariq Nasheed, how he categorized some people as dusties. Well, that's because a lot of them are lost in their mind is being broke and having a broke mentality, a broke way of life, the way they carry themselves, the way bad behavior. Everything is based on a broke mentality. So you have to break out that type of mentality in order to lead. That's the only way you can lead is to have a better mentality. So it's not necessarily based on money. I mean, you can have $20,000 yearly and still lead. But you can always try to improve yourself. Try to improve. And then if you have a family and things of that nature, if your wife sees you improving and constantly fighting and working, you're leading. And you're not rich, but you're not broke mentally either. So, I just want to encourage the family to continue to have the mindset of trying to improve yourself. And I land there.
Thank you. Before now, let's get to the Black Nuremberg, and then we got brother Rich has made his comeback. So I definitely want to hear what he has to say. WB, we want to hear what you have to say. Dulo, you got to raise your
It's
hand.
Dolo,
My fault. You got to raise your hand by pressing the heart emoji, and then there's a hand all the way to okay, you got it. Black Nuremberg, you can go ahead.
B1 to the I just gotta say I agree with Afro League. I'm not gonna say where he got some of his information from, but I agree with it 100%. And I also not all black men are leaders, and not all black men should be leaders. Case in point, me, I don't want to be a leader. I'm a soldier. What I do is I have a YouTube channel. I get royalties off of that. I donate to Tariq, Professor, and Jason, and anybody else who needs the help. That's what I do. And also, I just got to say this. Anybody who's in New York City and you get stopped by the cops and you unarmed and you see a brother with glasses and a bulletproof vest on, you holler at me, you say B1, and I'll come and help that. B1, I'm out.
B1, brother, I appreciate you. I appreciate you speaking. I appreciate your support as well. Brother Rich, go ahead, please.
Don't skip WB. Let WB go. He was here before me.
Okay. All right. WB, go ahead.
Well, what's up, everybody? Man, the post never went over my head. It just basically saying that we got to compete out here. The whole our country is ran off money as a tool to build up our families, build up our society. And there's a whole bunch of obstacles that we gonna have to, jump over and move out of the way. We just gotta, stand 10 toes and dig in and get it out the mud. I remember watching the movie Belly, and DMX told Nas, no kids can't eat no books. I don't want nobody to take that out of context, but in reality, you just gotta do what you gotta do. When we hear these type of conversations, or when I hear folks talking about, oh, money ain't everything or whatever, nobody ever said money was everything, but we understand the society that we living in, and we just got to do what we got to do to get where we need to go at. And money is that tool that's going to help us get there. So we just got to stand on that 10 toes. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. And before we get to Brother Rich, I want to say they're going around right now saying they beat me because they asked, first off, for those who know me, y'all know I'm a numbers dude. I started my YouTube channel off with numbers. I've always been about the statistics and the data and the numbers. I am a numbers dude. I explained in the previous space, if you guys were there, why I can't give a flat number as to this is what you are if you're financially struggling, and anything under this is broke, is completely broke. That if I gave a number, they would be like, okay, well, you say it's 70,000. Why is it not 65,000? You see, why can a man not lead if he has 65,000? Why does he have to have 70,000? Well, if I say 65, well, why can't it be 60,000? Why can't it be 64,000? They would do that if I gave that number. The situation has a little bit of nuance to it, and as an adult, I understand that. However, the word broke does not have any nuance. The word I can barely pay my bills is no nuance to it. If you cannot afford to live for yourself and to provide for yourself, that only has one definition. Broke only has one definition. Okay, like damn. Now, if I gave them the number, I'm telling you what they would do. Any number I gave them at all, they would have picked the number right below that and said, well, why isn't this number? Why isn't it this number? Why isn't it this number? The reason why I didn't do that is because it depends. I said you need to be financially stable, able to take care of yourself. I don't know how much you might need to be able to take care of yourself. I do know that you need a certain amount depending on where you are not to be broke. However much money, whatever much money you need not to be broke, that's the limit. That's the money you need. Now, that might be 100,000 in New York. That might be 60,000 in Texas. That might be 200,000 in California. It doesn't matter. But however much money you need to be financially comfortable, that's the number. But Rich, you can go ahead.
Oh, Lord. I tried, family. I tried to stay quiet. I tried to leave Twitter and do my yoga and pray to my Lord. And I tried, family. I tried to stay out these Twitter spaces. I did everything I could. But this shit is getting out of hand, family. Niggas is waking up every single day and coming up with more and more and more reckless shit to say, family. I tried, family. Y'all see I tried. Go on my timeline right now and see the last time I tweeted, family. I tried to stay off of Twitter. But this shit is getting out of hand. This is waking up and just let me see what reckless shit I have to say today. What crazy shit I have to say today. What dumb shit I have to say today. I tried, family. I tried. I can't now. I'm just gonna have to go full blown. I tried. So for the full disclosure, I don't want none of you niggas DMing me. Don't tweet me. Don't do none of that saying, Rich, chill out. You bugging. You give you niggas a month to get y'all shit together, get your thoughts right, get all your things together, and y'all didn't do. Y'all just getting worse by the day. This shit is just getting worse and worse and worse. Now, it's okay to be broke. That's the new shit now. Now it's okay for black men to walk around with no money in their pocket, a bunch of lint balls in their pocket, with 25, 50 cents, enough money to go buy a bag of damn chips. Now that's the new. That's what we saying now. We're in a damn system of white supremacy, and niggas is talking about it's okay for black men to be broke. Family, I can't afford to be broke. Being broke in New York City, first of all, not even in New York City, being broke in America actually costs you more. When you pay your rent late, they charge you $200 just for being late. When you pay your cell phone bill late, they charge you an extra $30 for being late. Being poor costs. And you niggas on these Twitter spaces, and yes, I'm taking the gloves off. I'm taking it off. I gave you niggas a month. I seen the shots y'all was taking. I seen the little sneaky shit y'all was doing. Niggas is throwing shots at Afro. A lot of you niggas is sitting back. Nobody defended Afro. Y'all sat there, let Afro get. Everybody's throwing shots at him. Nobody said nothing. Rich is back. Rich is back. Shout out to JL. I don't know who she is personally, but I heard of her. She's realer than a lot of you niggas. A lot of niggas got balls, but none of y'all niggas defended Afro. None of you niggas defended Afro. Y'all had Afro out here by himself. Everybody's still taking shots at Afro. I'm back. Who wants it? Who wants the smoke? I stayed off of Twitter because I'm like, you know what? Let me be on code. Let me be the bigger person. Let me be on code. That's what I said to myself. I'm gonna be the bigger person and be on code. But it seems like niggas don't care about no code. Well, guess what? I'm from the streets, family. I don't have to be on code. I'm being the bigger person. I'm putting my pride and my ego to the side and say, you know what? Let me remove myself from the situation and let's see if things get better. But things are not getting better, family. Niggas just continue to say more dumb shit as days go by. Now it's okay for black men to be broke. This is what we have come to in these Twitter spaces. Now it's okay for niggas to walk around with no money in their pocket, and we in a goddamn recession. Gas is $5 a gallon, family. Niggas is telling you to be broke. I'm from New York City. I'm not from no fucking small town, nigga. I'm from New York City, nigga. The richest state in the world. The richest place in the world. New York City is the richest place in the world, family. Google 740 Park Avenue. That's in the city. That has the most billionaires in the world. Google Billionaires Row. That's in New York City with all the billionaires across Central Park. And you niggas is telling me to be broke in New York City? There was an article that came out 2 days ago that said rent in New York City, the average rent in New York City is $5,000. I'm going to say that again. They just came out with an article, and CSNBC came out with an article and said rent in New York City, the average rent is $5,000. And niggas out here encouraging us to be broke. My lady likes Chanel. She likes Gucci. She likes red bottoms. I can't afford to be broke. I like Gucci. I like Rolexes. I like Petit Philippe. I can't afford to be broke. I like Philippe Child. That's my ambition. That's my goals. That's my aspirations. That's being broke shit. I went to jail. I'd rather be in jail than be broke. Yes, I take it. I come from poverty. And a lot of my street dudes I connect with, we come from poverty. We rather die than be broke. Why do you think you see Nicky Barnes and Frank Lucas and all these big time drug dealers from New York City? Why do you think they rather go to jail? Where I'm from, poverty hurts more than jail, than dying. It hurts more. Just because you don't have the balls to get up and do what you have to do for your family, that doesn't mean we all like that, family. You're like that. You don't have the balls to do that. Nigga, I'd rather be in prison. Put my ass in prison before I have to sit here and fucking eat fucking noodles all fucking day. Put me in prison. Fuck that. Put me in jail. Where's the nearest jail? I'm going there. If I gotta go fucking commit crimes in the system of white supremacy, you're damn fucking right I'm doing it. You damn right I'm doing it. This is how bad the situation is. A lot of dudes, they never grew up in no poverty. They had shit handed down to them. Some of us ain't have nothing handed down to us. We ain't have nothing here. All we got was oodles and noodles. That's what the fuck they handed down to us. We had to go out here and get it and commit crimes. Niggas out here telling us to be broke. That's how I know you. Some of you niggas, y'all never grew up around no street dudes. All these street dudes, I see some dudes from Baltimore in here, Rilla, WB. Y'all grew up around some big drug dealers. Not only New York City, Atlanta, Jeezy, all them niggas. Them niggas rather go to jail than be broke. That's how bad it is out here, family. And niggas telling her, okay, oh, y'all poverty shaming, y'all this, y'all that. What are you talking about? We telling niggas to get their shit together. Get your life together. Get your business credit together. Get your personal credit together. And I know, Afro, I'm going off. I'm about to stop, but it's been a month. I'm sorry. I got to go on. But this is the situation that we're in, family. As each day goes by, continuing to say more and more and more stupid shit. When are we going to put a stop to this? When are we going to put a stop to this? Next thing you know, niggas going to tell us it's okay to not get up and go to work every morning. That's the dumb shit niggas about to start saying. Don't get up and go to work. That's you poverty shaming. You damn right I'm fucking poverty shaming. You know what you doing, nigga? You luxury shaming, nigga. That's what you doing. I'm poverty shaming and you luxury shaming. You shaming me
Talk that
for
shit, bro. Talk that shit.
you shaming me for liking luxury stuff. Oh, it's the white man's product. You know that a Toyota is the white man's product. You know that, right? You do know that, right? A Lexus is a white man's product. The building that you in, that's a white man's product. So if we're gonna say, oh, let's start supporting white-owned businesses, all right, so get out your car and go sell it, nigga. Go sell that damn Toyota, that nasty ass 2005 Toyota, and go sell it then, nigga. Since you talking about, oh, we supporting white businesses. Dude, we're in a system of white supremacy. White people own every fucking thing on this planet. Of course, somehow, some way, I'm gonna end up supporting white-owned businesses some way. Oh, Rich, you a coon. You anti-black because you be in Louis Vuitton and you be in Gucci. I work hard, nigga. I work hard. If I want me a Rolex watch, I'm going to go get it. Get your ass out that damn white-owned car and that white-owned boss that you got. When you start doing that, then I'll get out my damn my damn Rolex and my Petit Philippe. And my lady, she gonna get out her Gucci and her Louis Vuitton. We'll do that when you do that. Let's switch. You over here poverty. You over here a luxury shaming, and well, I'm poverty shaming, nigga. I don't want to be in poverty. No black man on this earth should want to be in poverty. I believe that the black man is God. If we are fucking God, we should have an abundance of money and resources. I wholeheartedly believe that the black man is God. And if you are God, you should have an abundance of money, an abundance of the best things in life.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Zach,
Wait, hold on. Let me see
slow
something.
your ass down, nigga. I'm
Yeah,
talking.
no, what's up? No, I ain't here for yeah, anything like that. Like, no, bro.
Okay, keep going. That was an accident.
I believe that the black man is God. If we are here saying we are God and we are this and we are that and we are spiritual people and we can't manifest money, what's the point of being conscious if you can't manifest money? You might as well go back to being a dumb nigga just like all the other people we know. The whole point of being conscious is that means that you know more than what other people know. That's what it means. So if we're the conscious class in the black community and we don't know how to make money, go back to being a dumb nigga. Go back to smoking weed, go back to drinking, go back to not cleaning your nails, go back to not washing your ass, go back to doing that because it makes no sense. The whole point of being conscious, it means that you're aware. How you conscious and broke, it don't go together. You supposed to be the smartest black person in the room. You supposed to be the one that knows everything. And you broke. So you figured out white supremacy, you figured it out coons, you figured out sellouts, you know all about all of that, but you don't know about the money in your pocket. You don't know how to take $1 and turn it into $2. You don't know how to take $4 and turn it into $8. But you know about everything else. You know how to delineate, know how to remove yourself from black immigrants. You know how to do all of that. You know how to stay in these damn Twitter spaces from 9 in the morning till 12 at night. You know how to do all of that. But you don't know how to make $1. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. Guess what? I know how to do what you doing, and I know how to make $1, nigga. When Rich
Talk that shit, bro.
When Rich get off these damn Twitter spaces, nigga, I go make $1, nigga. I'm in New York City. I can't afford to be broke. Afro is in Chicago. He can't afford to be broke. If he take a day off work, nigga, that's like $200-$300. He can't afford that. We in big cities. We in major cities. Some of us in California. Some of us in Atlanta. Some of us in Miami. Some of us in Maryland, Baltimore. These are big cities. You miss one day, your ass is done. You already behind on bills. You miss one day of work, you already behind on bills. And you niggas is telling us to be broke. I'm going to say this last thing and I'm going to land. Black man, get your damn money. Get your finances to get together. Go get the best of the best in life.
Talk that shit, bro.
Best black women you can find with the most beautiful back. I'm not gonna get into detail. Get the finest black women you could get. Get the best luxury car you could get. Get the Louis Vuitton. Get the Gucci. Get the Prada. Get all of that, nigga. Get all of it. Get all of it. Don't let these niggas luxury shame you. They want you out here broke and disgusted. You could go be broke and disgusted. Rich is going to fight white supremacy, and I'm going to fight it in the back of my S550 2022. That's what I'm going to do. That's where I'm going to fight white supremacy at. You could go fight it with your little dirty-ass suit on. I'm going to be in the back of my S550 2023. That's where I'm fighting white supremacy at. I don't know where you want to fight it at. I don't know what's your ambitions and what's your goals is, but that's where I want to fight. I want to fight white supremacy in my mansion, in my socks, relaxing, making phone calls, putting money on real people books, real freedom fighters. That's how I want to fight white supremacy. If you want to fight white projects, family, I tried it before. It don't work. But if you want to, be my guest, go ahead. Go fight white supremacy in the projects. I wish you the best of luck. Be one.
Rich is back, y'all. Rich is back. First off, shout out to all of the people who have been supporting. Shout out to all of the people who understood and was defending the post. Okay, we got the ladies in here, and the ladies been standing up, being all like, "Hey, this isn't broke shaming. This is just the truth." Okay, I'm just saying, I appreciate every single last one of you guys who do support. I do. I see you guys. I don't give you guys your flowers enough. Nikki is like my D Tubman in the YouTube world. She be posting the links and all that stuff more than I could on my own stuff. JL has had my back for months now. Rich has had my back. I'm going down the list of people in this room. You got our brother Rilla Perry. I've been following him for years. Ogun Spirit, Jeff Will, JW, all of these, the Hard Black Truth, our sister Kenny, our sister Giselle down there, Black Nuremberg, East Sides, all of you all. I support you guys. We are a team, and as a team, we have to understand where our flaws are, especially as Black men. If we want to do better in life, you have to see your flaws. The thing is that there's only so much you can do in the world that we live in today if you do not have resources. Let me give you a brief story, and then we'll move on to our sister Phoenix. This like a week or two ago, I was driving on the Dan Ryan, and then I wasn't on Dan Ryan. I was on the I-90. I was heading for Stony Island. Anyway, I hit something, and it completely destroyed my tire. Completely destroyed it. I had to get my car towed to a tire shop, and then I had to buy a brand new tire. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was financially struggling. If I only had $12 in my bank account, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Things like that, split second stuff like that happens all the time. And you need to have the finances to where you don't have to call your parents every time something happens. Ma, can you please cash out me $100 because I need a new tire and I don't have it? I didn't have to do that. As much of an inconvenience as it was, I was able to handle it. As a man, things come up and you have to be able to handle the world we live in nowadays. We don't live in the world where men go outside and they hunt deer and they bring the deer back and cook it. We live in a world where you go out and you get money, and then with that money you buy the resources that you need. If you don't have the resources that you need, then you are not sufficient enough to lead. when things happen. If I, now I don't have any children, I have sisters. If my sister, now she's young, but let's say in the future she's talking to one dude. This dude is unemployed. This dude is broke. Dude gets unemployment money. He barely gets anything. He's a bum. He's not ambitious. He's not working hard, but he's a good person. He's an honest person. He has good, honest conversation. He loves puppies and kittens, and he can talk to you and listen to your feelings. I would say, well, yeah, all of that talking and listening to your feelings and being an honest, great person, that's wonderful. That's great and cute, but that does not pay the bills. If something happens, he's not going to be able to protect or provide. A man can't protect properly if he can't provide. And if he can't protect, provide, he can't lead. That is just the laws of nature. I didn't make it that way. I hate to be the one to have to tell you, but that's just the truth. That's just the truth. And we need black men to get out of the few who are, because most black men agreed, but the few who are, we need y'all to get out of y'all feelings and recognize, okay, yeah, I got to do better. I can't be a swimmer with no arms. How are you going to lead people out of poverty? How are you going to win a campaign without any resources? Now, Phoenix, you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. This is a great space. Great space. I was just going to share because you wanted to hear from the ladies. So I knew a guy that we were friends, and then we started talking. He's the one who led me to Tariq. He led me to Jason Black. He led me to Hidden Colors. He even convinced me to go from wearing my perm to being natural. So this guy was able to lead me to the truth, right? So when it was time to move forward and start a family, I guess, I could not move forward because I'm like, okay, what do you do? What is your finances like? Since he was asking me my finances, what are your finances are like? I'm self-employed, work for self. Great. So are you able to manage a home, run a home, and mortgage and insurance, life insurance on the home, insurance on a car? Like, it takes a lot to run a home. Are you able to do? Can we move forward? No. So I protected my eggs. I grew up in a single parent home. I knew that much. I was not about to have any kids and be broke with anyone. Like, I just couldn't do that. I grew up in the church. Back when I was doing that, teaching Sunday school and being in the church, I knew some households that were led by black men and the lights were cut. So that, all of that has to do with leadership. If you're leading, I'm following you, I'm beside you. But you can't lead if you're broke, if you can't manage your money, if you can't go out there and hustle. And Rich nailed it on the head. I mean, you can't add anything after that from what he was saying. And no, everyone is not a chief. Everyone is not a leader. So, and yeah, I wanted to go back to what you were saying, working at McDonald's. I worked there for 5 days and just kept it moving. Not trying to disparage anyone who works there, but you just can't. I don't see how you can run a home when you're doing the minimum. So, but yeah, broke men, we can't lead and we can't support, we can't follow, we can't support you. So, I mean, we're not going to hate you or tear you down, but back to what you're saying, bringing them in, you can't build like that with a black man, black woman. You just can't run a home. So I'll just land there. Thanks.
Yes, exactly. You can, and thank you very much, sister. I appreciate that. We do got some hands up. I want to get to see the master. You can go ahead, but before you go ahead, brother, I fully I think your name is DR22. You got to put your hand up. You got to raise your hand because I missed you there. But raise your hand now. I'll pin you in. But the thing is that, and I'm glad you didn't make that mistake. As far as a man leading, and this just goes in principle, you have to qualify to do that. all men are not qualified to be leaders. Listen, let me tell you something. Leaders, by definition, are the minority. There will always be more followers than leaders. There will never be at a point in time when there are more leaders than there are followers. That doesn't even make sense. There will always be more followers than leaders. I didn't say you have to be the leader. I don't believe that the black people should have a leader. We should have, well, if that's, everybody should be the leader of their own life, of their own family. Every black man should be the leader of his own life and his own family. And you can't do that if you don't have the finances for it. You can't say, hey, baby, some people keep breaking into our house. We got to up and move. If you don't have the finances for it, your car gets broken down. You can't go to work. You missing days and days. You get fired. You can't afford a car fix. You don't have the finances for it. Your kid is sick. Now you got a hospital bill you can't afford. Now you got to start selling things in your house because you weren't ready. And I understand why we in this position. It's not our fault that we're in this position, but we are. And you cannot be powerful and broke. See the master. You can go ahead, brother.
Yo, black first to the family, everybody in the space. Peace to the gods and the goddesses. Shout out to Rich. Yeah, we are gods and goddesses. You know what I'm talking about? Only if we operate in that capacity. I don't mean everybody, but yo, your tweet, bro, that you made, yo, the shit ain't really that. It's not rocket science. You see what I'm saying? And you know, I could feel what, you know, the other brothers were saying in the other space, but you know, I think somebody mentioned that bootstrapism talk. All right, well, bootstrapism, we're, you know, coming from a FBA space, yo, we're here because of our ancestors. Now, what did they, like, I mean, would you call that bootstrapism? Because yes, we're against all odds. You know what I mean? But our ancestors were really against it. And we here. You see what I'm saying? So that, you know, the work, you know what I mean? It comes to a point, man, you know, sometimes the excuses, man, you know, gotta fucking throw that shit in the trash, man. Because like you know, our ancestors, they had it bad, but guess what? They kept it pushing. You see what I'm saying? So now we're kind of in a better spot, and there's no excuses to get our weight up. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You know, shout out to Jason Black. That's why he be going hard on it. Cause yo, we are in a better position now to get our weight up. There's no excuse for niggas to be broke right now. You see what I'm saying? And like the brother Black Newenberg said, everybody ain't here to lead either. You see what I'm saying? You got some cats here, you know, on a institutional academic level, and you got soldiers. Some niggas come to this planet to fight. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing you got to keep in mind. But as far as, you know, getting your weight up, man, yo, it's really no excuses. It's really no excuses. And everybody had their moments. I had my moment. You know what I mean? And to the point where, like, yo, getting a paycheck, a bi-weekly paycheck, I'm looking at this shit, I'm like, damn, I can't do nothing with this. As soon as I get this paycheck, I'm done. I said, fuck that. You see what I'm saying? I switched my whole shit up, and now I'm good. You know what I mean? I told old girl, she down in Vegas right now. I'm like, yo, all right, boom. I'm gonna meet you down there this Thursday. I got a flight Thursday morning. I'm gonna meet her down there, and she gonna meet me at my hotel that I booked several years ago. I want to be like, damn, you going to Vegas? Damn, I guess I see you when you get back then. You know, but now I got my weight up, so yeah, yo, it's no excuses right now. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go ahead and land it there. But yo, Afro, keep it up, bro. Yo, Your tweet was spot on, and that's that shit. Tariq, who else mentioned that? That's that shit talk. That's that dusty talk. You see what I'm saying? Niggas is like niggas just want to use excuses to not get right. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna land there, bro.
Thank you, brother. Get your weight up, man. And I'm not saying that you gotta be rich. The ideology of, yeah, you have to be wealthy. I didn't say wealthy. There is a big difference between being broke and being wealthy. There's a lot of room in between. I'm not a wealthy man at all, and I'm not bragging about the money I have, but I have enough money to where I, at the drop of a hat, go all the way down to South Carolina from Chicago, spending hundreds of dollars on gas alone. Not only the 4 days actually, the 4 days that I just took off, 4 days, not getting paid, just took off just because and I'm not, oh, look, I got it like that. Afro Elite got it like that. But yeah, because I developed myself. I understand I need to develop my finances to the point where if I got to make a move, I can make a move like that. That's what we want to do. If we got to make a move where, hey, I got to get a hotel in this place, you can afford a hotel. You might not be able to afford a 5-star hotel, but you can afford a hotel. You might be able to rent a car. It might not be a damn luxury car, but you can rent a car. You know, you might not live in the best studio apartment, the best condo, but you can afford the rent and you don't have to borrow any money every single month. That's what I'm saying. You cannot be broke. If you broke, okay, you just broke. But don't sit up there and complain about being broke and not being in charge. My grandma told me when I was a kid, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. Okay? Everything comes with a price. Everything comes with a price, including leadership and authority. If you cannot pay the cost to be the leader, then you cannot be the leader. And in the world we live in today, that takes the ability to exercise in resources. If you don't have any resources to give the people and you don't have the capability to lead people to resources, then what makes your word any more credible than somebody else's word? Now, with that being said, thank you, brother. I want to get to RDR22 because you haven't spoken yet.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
What's up, bro?
So I got a question, right? How many years the white man been oppressing the black man?
Centuries.
Centuries. Back on the plantations, it was illegal to read, my nigga. Illegal. Why? Because they didn't want us to have the knowledge. Because they understand knowledge is power. Niggas out here complaining they ain't got no money. Bruh, when was the last time you read, nigga? When was the last time you opened up a finance book, nigga? Learned about how to do your taxes, how to form an LLC, nigga. They're trying to feminize and suppress the black man. You look on the TV, what you see? Martin Lawrence in a dress. Eddie Murphy in a dress. Jamie Foxx, nigga, in a dress. What they're trying to tell you? They understand the black man is the last warrior class left. They're trying to come after the kids because they know if they can get the kids young, the government, the white man owns the kids. They take them away from black families, nigga. Why? Because we the last warrior class.
Yep, yeah, you said it, bro. Yeah. You absolutely right. They trying to suppress us, and it's our responsibility to make sure that does not
It's
happen.
our responsibility, nigga. If not us, then who? If not us, then who, nigga? It's up to us. We need to stay educated. When was the last time you read a book out of high school, nigga? That you didn't feed your mind with, huh?
Is this dude? Okay.
We need to be reading books. It was illegal on the plantation.
I feel like we're getting a little on, brother. I agree, man. But I feel like we're getting a little bit off subject, though. You know, because we are talking about leadership, and you know, and we talking about like the financial aspect of it.
Man,
We
you
understand you
can't
got to have the
listen,
knowledge too,
man.
though.
You can't make no money without the knowledge, bro. Knowledge precedes the money. How you gonna get you a check without knowing what the fuck you're doing? You need to learn. You need to feed your mind, nigga. Books.
Okay, okay,
It
all
was
right,
This dude
illegal
brother,
sounds
for
brother,
slaves
brother,
Asian,
to read.
brother.
by the
Okay,
way.
brother, brother,
Plebiscite Babel.
brother. Okay, yeah. Trust me, trust me. Yeah. And I agree. We need to be educated. We need to learn our history, and we need to
For
learn how
sure.
to move with money. But the thing is
Brother,
that
it's not
it's
us that move,
pointless
nigga.
to learn how to move with money if you don't want to get money. If you're not gonna get money, what's the point of trying to learn how to move with money? You know what I'm saying?
Talk that shit, bro.
So yeah,
They
yeah.
try to keep us
But
poor,
yeah, I
nigga.
feel your energy. Let's get to some of the other hands though. So Jay Winfield, you can go ahead. I appreciate you, brother.
Now I wanted to piggyback on what Rich said. He was talking all that luxury shit. With a quote, there's no nobility in poverty and stuff like that and whatnot. But I just want to know, like, when I was in that space, they were saying terms like bootstrapism and do for selfism. Like, those are like Adolf terms and stuff like that. My thing is, why can't you do both? Like, why can't you, push for reparations and want to be competitive, be a competitive black male, out here want to get his own. You read Powernomics, Dr. Claude Anderson advocates for that, with ethno aggregation and vertical integration on a group basis that we can do. And also, he also laid out a blueprint of how to, how we should get reparations at the end of his book. But I just thought that was just kind of just weird. Like we can't just do both, and we can only do one thing at a time, and we're just under systematic white supremacy that we can't do anything. We're just helpless. We can't help ourselves and stuff like that. Do what we can to acquire resources. And one thing that Jason always says is that the power of white supremacy lays within its economy. So, and we live in a world that runs on money. So it's just like capitalism ain't going nowhere anytime soon. So I don't understand, like, why wouldn't you want to, get to the bad and things of that nature? And they always like to say, like, I saw Malcolm X was broke and Martin Luther King was broke. I'm not gonna get too deep into that, but people gotta understand that those were like different times. That was back in the '60s. That was when the value of the dollar wasn't one tenth of what it is today. And when the value of money was have much more purchasing power so back then and things of that nature. So they can get along, further than where we are today with high rates of inflation, the decline in value of the dollar and things of that nature. So it's just like we're not in. We're just talking about like on an individual basis, where a black man getting this financial resources in order to be competitive in this world. But yeah, I mean that's all I got to say, and I'm gonna land my plane.
Mm-hmm. And my thing is, and before we get you, because I think it was Ogun Spirit, then we'll go with Rich. Juan and Keep It P, you gotta raise your hand. But let me say something. As we was having, in space, I don't want people to go around saying Afro Elite, he was talking hella crazy about Marcel in the other space. I'm not. I'm in this space because first off, the reason why we even having this space was about a tweet I made. And then when I was when I was on as a speaker, I waited a hell long time patiently for me to get a chance to explain the tweet I made. And then I got interrupted and muted, and I got words put as respectfully as I have been. I'm like, hey, bro, don't say things that I didn't say. The tweet is right there in the jumbotron. Don't say I'm saying things I didn't say. Don't say I'm sitting up there spewing white supremacist talking points because I say black men shouldn't be broke. Black men need to work hard to get their money together. Don't say I'm anti-black. First off, if the code is the leader, what you disagree with, that don't make it anti-black just because you don't agree. And you not letting me, you got me in the space about my tweet, but you let me tweet. And you were very hostile going off for no reason. You see how, if you guys was in that space, you see how much I tried to calm the situation down. I'm like, okay, all right, well, let's not go there. I'm constantly getting yelled at. Oh no, no, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's relax, brother. Let's relax. Let's not go there. You know, we don't need to be hostile. No, because see, you're being anti-black right here. You don't understand the struggle of the black man. Yeah, I do, brother. I'm just trying to say, let's calm down. So, okay. And then I hit it when I brought up the fact that you can't win a campaign and be broke, and you know that, Marcel. Then he wants to completely mute me. And this isn't a diss to Marcel. You know what? I respect the work that he has done for the people, but Marcel was incorrect. Okay? He was incorrect with that. Ogun Spirit, you can go ahead. And hopefully, Marcel, you see this, and we can still have a respectful conversation moving forward. But that was wrong, brother. You can go ahead, Ogun Spirit.
All right, perfect. I just think it's diabolical. It's treacherous. It's traitorous to lie and say that having no money makes you an ineffective leader. Doesn't make you an ineffective leader. You are an ineffective leader if you cannot provide for yourself, because you won't even be able to help the next man next to you.
Yeah, Afro elite. You know what I'm saying? It's all about that Afro elite.
Who the hell is that?
Who just said that? 1 second. Who just said
Whoever that plus sign, or I don't know who that is.
It was that the nigga with the painting, y'all, in the picture.
You're gonna have to wait your turn. I'm not sure who you are, but you gotta wait your turn to speak.
Yeah, we waiting nines, all right? We being respectful to one another, you feel?
Okay. If that happens again, you're gonna be removed. But you can go ahead. Continue.
Right. Yeah, I just think we need to remember, man, the toasters and the and the Rosewoods and whatnot, that shit wasn't done with no broke spirits and no broke mind and no broken people. That shit was done with from the pool hall dudes, the business dudes. They was getting that shit together. It was them pulling money together, not pulling just thoughts. They had to pull some kind of resources together to make some shit happen, to even build. So, I wouldn't even, after this, I wouldn't even address it no more, because it's really just, at this point, it's really a small, it's really small-minded to even insinuate that you can move out here like any other dude with no money. You can't, because if you say that, you're gonna have to let people tell people what would happen if everybody took your money away. What would you be able to do? So come on, let's not be disingenuous when we're talking about this just because you're in your feelings. This is that don't talk to me that way talk, or you know what I'm saying, or my babies can do more. We're not on that page right now. We be on some building stuff. We on some manhood. We on some accountability. And if you looked at that tweet with an educational eye, you would have known that was just empowering. And it mean no kind of negative. That was just like, get your weight up, brother. If you ain't got your weight up yet, you need to get it up. And that was that. So if you took it another way, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. I did not expect it to get that type of reception. I didn't mean it in a negative way at all. That's why I said at the bottom, I didn't say you can't lead if you're I'm sorry, you can't be a leader if you're broke. So sit your broke ass down. That's not what I said. I said focus on getting your weight up, man. If you don't get it, then you don't have it. Accept that you don't have it. Develop a plan, execute the plan to get it. That's what you got to do. Because you have to have it. You can't say, oh, I can go without it. No, you cannot go without it. What the gas is like 5 gallons, $5 a gallon. What you talk about? I can still be struggling and be just as powerful and influential as someone who isn't struggling. Okay? There's a reason why you have people like Jason Black, who is so influential and powerful, because when people get locked up at a protest, they got the money to bail you out immediately. Tariq has the money to bail you out immediately. You think that these people can make the moves that they did if they was broke? They can make multiple documentaries, travel the country, form protests and rallies, bail people out of jail, do all of this stuff if they were broke? No, these people get to make moves, boss moves, because they have the finances to back it up. Now, I get, I don't have the money that Jason Black does or Tariq does. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that that's what happens when you have resources. You get to do things that you wouldn't be able to do if you didn't. If I can barely get my car to run to go to work, how am I supposed to take a trip across the country? Like, let's be adults and be realistic about it. This isn't me broke shaming. This is me telling the truth. Rich, you can go ahead.
Family, my goal is to make $100 million by 45 years old, family. That's my goal. That's my honest to God goal. I really believe in my heart I can make $100 million. The next 4 years, my goal is to make $10 million. I already have the plan written to make $1 million. I never had a job in my life. I purposely never applied for a job in my life just to avoid being comfortable with a 9 to 5. Since young, I said, yo, you know what? I'm never getting a job. Just so I can avoid being comfortable with a 9 to 5. I made that decision in junior high school.
Real nigga alert.
Man, this
you're
is
gonna
your
have to wait your
second
turn,
warning
man.
now. Rich, go ahead.
I'm not telling anyone here to not go get a 9 to 5, because a 9 to 5 is actually very beneficial. You can fund your career with a 9 to 5. However, that's how committed I am to being financially free, to being wealthy, to being successful. I have never had a job in my life. I've always been an entrepreneur since I was a
Fuck
child.
jobs, yo.
Hey, man,
Yeah.
excuse me. You're gonna have to wait your turn.
Hold
Go
on.
ahead.
I just heard your voice for a little bit. You don't even. You probably not even a black person, are you?
Yeah, go ahead and remove that person.
Yeah,
Afro.
this is probably some type of
Yeah.
white, suspected white supremacist troll up in here.
Like I was saying, when I was a child, I worked at the barber shop. I sweep hair, family. I sweep hair. That's how long I've been an entrepreneur. Do not listen to these people telling you to sit here and accept white supremacy for what it is and let white supremacy whoop your ass and you not fight back, family. You fight white supremacy by being successful. You fight white supremacy by filling your bank account with $100 bills. You fight white supremacy by living in that big ass mansion. You fight white supremacy by having your own lawyer, by having your own masseuse, by having your beautiful wife with that 10-carat ring on her finger. That's how you fight white supremacy. By living your best life, by funding those who are on the ground that need the money. Afro, if he got something going on and he needs some funds, here's 10,000. That's nothing. If Tariq Nasheed got something going on, he's coming out with a new documentary. Here's 20,000. That's nothing. How it works. I'm in real estate, family. I'm competing with white wealthy men. When I walk into my office, every single top salesman in the office is a white man. Second is a white woman. Do you think they out here telling this shit to their children? Oh, stop poverty shaming. Stop doing this. Stop. Do you think they really out here telling their children to not get money? Do you really think in their house, when they having those private conversations, do you think they're telling them to go get the money or don't go get the money? Which one? I'm in private clubs full of wealthy white folks tons of money. I'm competing with the best of the best in the country. I'm talking about dudes who are on the Wall Street Journal, top 100 agents in the country. That's who I'm coming with. And niggas out here telling us, oh, don't focus on money. So what am I supposed to focus on? I'm just gonna be on these Twitter spaces shouting every goddamn day. This is why these niggas have the time to be on Twitter all damn day. They wake up, they on Twitter. They go to sleep, they on Twitter. They brushing their teeth, they washing their ass, they taking a shower, they on Twitter. These niggas ain't up to nothing. Niggas with jobs, niggas with goals, niggas with ambition. We ain't got time to be on Twitter all day. We got real shit going on in real life. We got real things going on. So last thing I'm gonna say is to every black man, I'm not telling you, oh, it's a problem that you're broke right now. No, I'm not saying that. We all been broke before. I'm saying you should have a $1 million plan that you're working on. That's what I'm telling you. At all times, you should have $1 million plan, $1 million business plan that you're working on every single day. You might be broke right now, but you have a plan on how to get it out, how to get out of this situation, and you're working on a plan. Meaning you getting up every single day, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and you hitting the streets and you looking for that bread every single day. I'm not saying there's an issue with being broke. We're all gonna be broke at some point. We all got to start from somewhere. I'm saying don't be comfortable with being broke. Don't listen to these niggas telling us, oh, let's just accept white supremacy whooping our ass. Oh, we're in a capitalistic system. Oh, we're in a this system, that system. Don't listen to these niggas. Michael Bloomberg, he was the mayor of New York City, I believe 3 mayors ago. This dude is worth $55 billion, family. He was the mayor of New York City. Guess how much guess how much they paid him to be the mayor of New York City? He told him, just give me $1 a year. Just give me $1 a year. They paid him $1. That was his salary. Michael Bloomberg, go look that up. The mayor of New York City. They paid him $1 for 8 years. I believe 6 or 8 years, one of those. They paid him $1. Why? Because it wasn't about the money for him. It was about the power. He already had money. He's worth $55 billion. This is how white men are operating. Over here, we've got a whole bunch of black men. We can't even agree that we need to get this money together. We can't even agree on some simple shit like that. And these white men worth 55 billion goddamn dollars telling you, nah, just give me $1. Just give me $1 every year to be mayor. This ain't about money for me. This is about power. And guess what Michael Bloomberg did? He the one that introduced stop and frisk to New York City. Michael Bloomberg. 5'5", saggy ass face, white man. He's the one that introduced stop and frisk to New York City. That's what money allows you to do. It allows you to get in these type of places, get in these type of positions where you can make moves for your community. You can't make moves being broke, family. It don't work. Where the women don't respect broke niggas. They don't. They look at you in disgust. Women look at broke men in disgust. Like, look at this nigga. He's fucking just die already. You're worth nothing. These niggas out here, these niggas think that their value come from their looks. Your value as a man does not come from your looks. Your value as a man come from your resources, your finances. That's where your value come from, nigga. You think you're gonna get away with being a pretty boy? You think you're gonna get away with cracking jokes? The lady's gonna laugh for a few. They gonna laugh, but at some point you're gonna make them laugh so much that they gonna get hungry. And guess what? They gonna want to go to Philippe Chow. They gonna want to go shop in Beverly Hills. So all the jokes that you cracking, all the little small things you doing, and the ladies is liking it. At some point they gonna be like, okay, I'm ready to go to Jamaica. I'm ready to go to the Bahamas. I'm ready to go to Aruba. And you gonna be sitting there talking about I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see what I could do. She's gonna look at you like, all right, next. The black women don't respect black men that don't have no type of ambition. They have no respect. And that last dude, Afro, that was arguing with you, The dude that owns a business. I went on his Twitter profile. No disrespect, but that his lady.
I saw. I know exactly what you were about to say.
I'm not gonna go there, family, but I went on his Twitter and I seen his lady, and I could see why he thinks that way. I'm not gonna get into detail, family, but she's leaning on the 300, 350, scale around there. So we see why he has a problem with luxury. We see why he has a problem with getting money. We see why he has a problem with the finer things in life. Why? Because he accepted the worst fucking mammal. I'm not with that. I want the best of the best, the most beautiful black woman in the room. That's the one I want. In order for me to get her, I need to have my life together. That's how I know. That's how I work. I don't approach you. I don't approach no woman unless I got my stuff together. When I'm broke, I stay far away from women. Far away, because I respect myself. I'm not gonna disrespect myself and approach her, but knowing I'm about to fuck her life up because I don't got my shit together. Women do not respect dudes who don't have ambition. They hate your guts. Get your shit together. Stop listening to these niggas who live in these small towns with no skyscrapers, no traffic, no money moving. I live in a big city. I live in the city of big dreams. You in California, you in Atlanta, you in Chicago, you in New York, you in these big cities. We wake up with more and more hope, more and more ambition. Why? Because it's all around you. Money is moving 24/7. You think I'm about to sit here and accept 60,000 a year, 80,000 a year? Well, my goal is to make 10 million within the next 4 years. That's my goal. My goal is to make $10 million within the next 4 years. Call me crazy, call me retarded. That's okay. That's my goal. That's what I believe I can make it. But I'm not about to fucking sit here and accept white men whoop my ass. And knowing that these niggas is cheating, knowing that these niggas can't mess with a black man toe to toe. You think I'm about to accept that? That's what they want us to do. Accept this shit. Let's wait for reparations. So in the meantime, while we waiting for reparations, we're not gonna sit here and get our shit together and get our money together. So by the time reparations come, I'm already worth $20 million. So that $400 check I just donated, we just gonna sit here and wait for reparations. So what if reparations is $500,000 in New York City? $500,000 can only get you a damn a 6 family. That's all it could get you in New York City. 500,000 is nothing in New York City.
Or if reparations takes longer than what we plan on, we might not get let's say we get reparations in 2035. What are you gonna do until then?
Niggas gonna be on Twitter all damn day, sitting, waiting, complaining, 10 in the morning, having a Twitter space, 9 in the morning, having a Twitter space. Damn breath stink, ain't washed their breath, ain't washed they between their ass crack, ain't cleaned they fucking eyebrows, they eyelashes. That's what they gonna be doing. Just on Twitter all damn day, screaming. The damn phone got a whole bunch of saliva on it. Your mom in the back, she begging you to, lower your voice. That's what they gonna be doing. I'm not doing that, nigga. When you see me off Twitter, I'm handling real business. I'm not on Twitter all damn day. I don't got time for this shit. I got shit to do. I gotta be up at 5 in the morning. I gotta be up just early as these white men, because I'm competing with white men. That's the problem with us. We always want to compete with each other. Oh, I'm the first black on this. I'm the first black this. I'm the first black that. Nigga, I'm not competing with black people. I'm competing with white men. If you competing with black people, of course you always gonna win. You always gonna win at anything, because we ain't got shit. Is when you really start competing with white men, that's when you in a different ballpark, because they're the one with the real bag. We ain't got no money. Niggas always want to say, "Oh, I'm the first black on this. I'm the first black on that." So what? We all poor. What does it mean to be the first black person to do that?
I want to say something else, because I'm seeing a whole bunch of trolls come up we got people which are clearly racial trolls. We got people coming up with gorilla profiles and watermelon profiles. No, you're not speaking on my space. As a matter of fact, you're about to get removed because, yeah, I'm not playing with none of y'all little trolls. You're not speaking in my space. When black men are talking in a productive space about getting things done, notice that's when you have the trolls. That's when you have the white supremacists come into space and they try to throw the space off. When you're having a space and all you doing is goofing off, all you doing is clowning each other and joking and roasting each other, you don't have anybody trying to throw the space off. They look at that space like, oh my God, look at them niggers over there doing what they're supposed to be doing. Let me not bother them. But when you have a space about black men talking about, hey, we can't be broke anymore, we need to get our weight up, then you have a whole bunch of white supremacists coming in here trying to derail the conversation. I just want you guys to notice that. You can go ahead.
Is that me?
Who said that? Hold on. Before you go, I want to say this. To the brothers, we all like beautiful women. We all like beautiful black women, right? We would not have a space.
Afro, they don't. They don't.
Well, they
like
don't. Well, they like what they can get.
Exactly. That's
they
what
can't
like.
get that.
These niggas don't like beautiful women, because if you like beautiful women, your ass will be up every day at 5 a.m, getting your ass up to get this bread. Because you know what beautiful women like. They don't want to hear shit. They want the bread. They want you to have your shit together. So no, these niggas don't like beautiful women. They like them fucking big 700-pound Lizzos. That's what they like, because that's all they can afford.
And I was actually just about to get to that. To all of the beautiful, intelligent women in this very space right here, if you woke up and you were 300 pounds heavier than you are today, would you still say, yeah, I'm just as attractive as I was yesterday? I woke up, I'm 300 pounds, now I'm 440. But I'm just as physically attractive as I was. No, you wouldn't be able to argue that. And the men wouldn't let you argue that. The men would be all like, hey, you got to be beautiful. You got to be in shape. Your hair got to be done. Your teeth got to be all nice and pretty. You got to have your nails done, your feet done. You got to have eyelashes. If I mean, that's your thing. You got to be dressed nice, put on a nice perfume. That's what men would say. See, these dudes, they don't have a problem when it comes to telling women what to do. And, hey, you can do that if you're a leader, but you're not a leader, because the second it says, okay, well, this is what you got to do as a man. Well, what do you mean? See, these are the same broke niggas. And I just gotta say it. These are the same broke niggas. They lady pays all the bills. She comes home after work. He's sitting on the couch on the Xbox with a blunt in one hand and the Xbox controller in the other hand. And she was like, baby, I understand you've been on hard times and anything like that, but did you try to ask for a promotion or something like that? You're trying to ask for a job? Because I just think that at 40 years old, that $7.50 an hour is really. Well, damn, babe, you already understand what I got to go through. See, as a black man, I got to go through a lot of hardships, okay? You just don't understand our struggles. So you insensitive. What you really talking is a white supremacist talking point. That's really what it is. Are you a white supremacist, honey? Why can't you just support me and hold me down the way I deserve to be held down like a king? I am a king, okay? Like, damn, I need $20 too, but damn, respect me like the king I am, and I deserve to be respected. You think these women gonna go for that? You think any of these women are gonna go for that? They gotta do overtime because you want that new 2K and you can't afford it. You know, these are the same niggas that when you walking up, you at the GameStop, you already see them. You at the GameStop and they got that one really big woman, and they with that really big woman because she got really good credit, and she buying them that new 2K, that new Call of Duty, and they hugging her from behind. Oh, you so beautiful. I love your perfume, baby. Can I get the deluxe edition, please? Can I get that? Ooh, can I get that? My controller's kind of sticky. I put some syrup on it and I can't get it clean, so I need another controller, honey. I promise I will wash the dishes when I get back to I swear to God this time. Is that the men you want, women? Those are powerful men. Let the other dude tell it. Those men are just as capable to lead as people who are ambitious, as people who are grinding every single day. Because all men are capable of leading. Like, come on. We're not about to play these games.
Afro, some of these niggas can't even lead their ass to the damn shower. Some niggas can't lead their ass, they finger to the damn leave button on the top of, look at the top or the top right. You see where it says leave? Some of these niggas can't even leave their finger there to get off this damn Twitter space and go take a damn shower and wipe their ass and go get a damn job. Some of these niggas can't even do that. I've been on Twitter for a damn month. I come back, these niggas is on from the morning till noon till night. Dude, go get a damn job. McDonald's is hiring. These niggas can't even lead their finger to the damn leave button. And they think they're gonna be leading women out here and leading other men. That's why I like my young niggas. Young niggas don't respect you old niggas. The young niggas, the young ambitious niggas, the young girls, the young boys, they don't respect you niggas. They don't want to hear what you got to say with all that must in your mouth. They want to speak to the niggas with the money. That's who they respect. They want to speak to the niggas with the money. Who has the Rolls Royce? Who has the Bugatti? Who has the Bentley? Why do you think they love hip hop so much? Because that's the niggas with the bag. You niggas want to call yourself conscious, but y'all can't even get this simple thing. Another person that be saying that dumb shit is Dr. Umar Johnson. Oh, we don't need all that extra stuff. Yes, we do, nigga. We need all that. Whatever influences the young, that's what we need. The young is influenced by money. I don't have young dudes going to jail, going to prison for scamming, for selling drugs. I don't got no problem with that. I respect it. I understand. I come from poverty. I know what it's like when you're back against the wall and you're like, fuck that. I'd rather commit crimes than sit here and be broke. To me, that
Africa, I can land something real quick. Not to cut you off, Rich. I just want to land something real quick.
Slow down.
I'm trying to get to the bag. You see what I'm saying? I want to land something so I could
slow down. You interrupted me, brother. Please slow down. These young dudes respect men who have money. They don't have no respect for niggas. They don't have no respect for niggas with 9 to 5s. I don't have no problem. I do have a problem, but I don't shame the young men, the young black men out here who take risks to get money. I used to do the same thing. These dudes grew up with no mother, no father, in the projects, snotty nose. They like, fuck this. I'd rather go to jail. I'd rather commit crimes than sit here and accept this bullshit right here. This poverty. Poverty hurts more than anything in the world to a black man. Poverty hurts when you're looking at your damn wife in the face, knowing that the bill is due next month. When you're looking at your child and your child is asking you for that new toy, and you're like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna get it, and you don't know where the money's gonna come from. And these niggas is telling us just to be broke. Are you serious? I'll end right there.
I want to get to some of the our brother C the Master. You go ahead. You had something real quick you want to throw in because I wanted to add because Dr. Paco asked a question and I wanted him to ask his question on stage. So C, you go ahead, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro. Just real quick, man, because it was a point I wanted to make earlier, and brother Joe Winfield, he kind of pointed that out. The brother Ogun kind of added to it, but the other space, what's the name, campaign was mentioned, and he was like saying, like, yeah, most of the folks who contribute to the campaign was broke. Now, my thing is, all right, however much money was collected, now imagine like 85% of of the people who donated, imagine 85% who had their weight up. You see what I'm saying? This goes back to this getting weight. Imagine 85% of the donations who had a weight up. How much money would Marcel had then? You see what I'm saying? So going back to the leadership, sometimes, the leadership, you may not, like, you could be You know, you can have that mental capacity to lead and financially not, but the backing, the finance, that's when the shit plays a big part. And that pretty much plays into folks having a shit together. You see what I'm saying? You know, so that leadership, yeah, you could lead and you could be at a, you know, a disposition, but if your backing is solid, you know what I mean? Your backing is solid and your backing finances is straight, that's where you got nothing to worry about, and that's where we need to be. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, everybody ain't built for the leadership, but you know, everybody could make moves to get their finances in order. So when we have somebody that has that mental competence to really push the needle, you straight, because you know your backing, your financial support is solid. You see what I'm saying? But I wanted to point that out because it was so much being said, I forgot. And it, you know, it was brought up, you know, when it brought up Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they had backing. You know what I mean? That's why they was able to do what they need to do. But that's it, man. I landed there. Black first.
Black first, brother. Now, before we go to Mr. Paco, there are some people in this room who are on the timeline talking about how Afro lost in that other space, or how I was incorrect in that other space. And that's you in the room. Now, I'm not going to kick you out the room. I'm not going to bash you. I'm not even going to call you by name. But I want to say, if you feel that I am incorrect, then you can feel 100% free to come here. I'm not going to cut you off. I'm not going to mute you or nothing. But if you feel I'm incorrect, you can come here and speak on it. But don't be in the space applauding and then on the timeline talking about, see, Afro don't know what he's talking about. Like, I see you. I see you. But
Afro, could I say something real
Mr.
quick?
Paco,
Yes, sir.
you had a question you asked?
I asked a couple questions, so I don't remember which one you're referring to.
The question where I said that you can come up as a speaker and ask it. Let me see what question that was.
Okay.
Which question that was? Because you asked a couple questions.
Well, one of the
You said,
questions
with all due respect, are we talking about the cause or ourselves? What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Well, I felt like that when I came in late, so I could be mistaken, but it seemed like you were pretty specific with what you were getting at and differentiating between someone who doesn't have money and the different circumstances surrounding all of that. But then I heard a lot of like personal stories and goals and all this other stuff and what people are trying to do. And so then I kind of felt like it was getting a little lost. And so a couple questions I had is what's wrong with simply just competing with yourself? Like, why do you have to compete with white people? It seems like that if you're competing with white people, they're kind of like living in your head like rent free. And I also was interested in knowing that what is the symbolism behind having like a specific number of money that you said, I'm going to have this amount of money by this time? Because I made a mistake in my own personal life of saying that I'm going to have my PhD by 30, and I basically killed myself doing that just to say that I did it. But in doing so and having all those degrees and then going on all those interviews and thinking that I'm going to be, received so well because I can speak two languages, I'm the youngest person, and these white folks made a mockery out of me, and I had to really learn a lot of lessons. And so I'm just kind of curious. Number one is competing with yourself. So like, what's wrong with that? And then the other thing is just the symbolism behind saying that by this age I'm gonna have this much money. Like, what is that? Like, what does that mean?
Well, Rich was talking about his personal ambition. We were not saying, hey, by age 30, if you don't have at least $100,000 in your bank account, then you a broke bummy dude. That's not what we were said. Rich was just talking about his own personal anecdotal experience or desires.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what we were talking about right there. Two, you said, why are we competing with white people instead of competing with ourselves? Because the thing is as a man, you to know where you stand in the world, you have to compare yourselves to other things.
Okay.
Okay, you have to compare where you're standing. And comparisons are always a good thing. Okay, that's how we know where we are and where we need to be. Because we do understand that we do not live in a fair world. We live in a world of racial inequity.
Right.
These are our oppressors. That's why we are competing against them. Because these people are competing against us. These people are trying to suppress us. It would be one thing if we could just leave them alone and they would leave us alone, but leaving us alone. So that's why we need to make sure that we are, that's why we need to make 100% sure that we're competing against them to know where we stand on things.
But the goalpost is always moving. And so I
Then
guess
we're always moving, of course. And that's, as a man, the goalpost is supposed to move. The goalpost is never supposed to be, oh, I made it, I'm cool here. It's always, as a man, it is always supposed to move. You're always supposed to be getting there no matter how rich you are. Jeff Bezos, Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, they still trying to get richer. There is nothing more. If they got twice as rich, they would see no difference in the quality of their life because they have so much money right now and they're still trying to get richer. The goal is always to do better. The goalpost always moves.
Well, and I guess that's where being richer and doing better, I guess to me, isn't necessarily the same thing. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. When I see myself, I already see myself as having more than white people when it comes to what I've achieved. So, and that hasn't made a difference in the ways that we speak of because of the institutionalized racism that exists. And let's just be real, certain industries are very hard to penetrate. And you don't know that going into your undergraduate because nobody tells you these things. Because a lot of us are first generation college students. But when you
Let
finally
me
get to
ask
that
you a
top,
question. Let
go
me
ahead.
ask you a question. What is your degree in?
I got a PhD in psychology, and I got
Okay.
an and I got a master's in psychology, and I got a bachelor's in Spanish. So I got 2 languages, bilingual. So I got all
Okay.
the,
I'm just asking.
yeah. It don't mean nothing when it comes to the gatekeepers. It don't mean anything. And so I start my own business and kind of start doing my own thing, realizing that I might as well bet on myself versus waiting for someone to open the door for me. But I understand that everybody's path is different, and so I respect this platform. I respect your opinion. I respect everyone that is here. So I don't want to come across like I know more than anyone. I just know that there are just certain industries that are very, very hard for us to penetrate, and it has nothing to do with what we've achieved.
Let me comment on that. See, that's the problem right there. See, I'm in an industry where nobody can stop me. There's no racism. When I mean there's no racism, I'm saying racism cannot stop me from picking up the phone and speaking to homeowners and speaking to buyers. That's the problem with us. We always want to get in an industry where race. Now, I was just replying to what the brother was saying. We end up in these industries where there's a limit to what we can do. You have to get inside industries where there's no limit to what you can do, where nobody can stop you. No racism, no white supremacy. Nobody could stop me from being a great real estate agent or a great real estate investor. I can't be stopped. I might run into 1 or 2 white supremacists. Of course I am. But guess what? You know how much clients I have? The entire world is my client because every single person in this world needs somewhere to live. So we have to start getting into industries where you cannot be stopped. You can't
That
be. You
action,
can't. You
go ahead.
can't be. What you saying? Go ahead.
And I said that education, specifically to what you're talking about, is not widespread enough to first generation college students who are under this guy that I'm in college. You know what I'm saying? I've done something. And I think that if people can understand that more, but even with being a real estate agent, if you live in environments like in the Midwest, they could definitely get in your way. So it does matter where you live as far as your business is concerned and where you situated.
It's impossible for anybody to get in your way as a real estate agent. It's impossible.
If the in the community that I live in,
Real estate.
I
Slow down. Real estate is about numbers. If 40 people say no to you, you move on to the next 40. Real estate is all about numbers. It's impossible for anybody to stop you from making $1 million or $2 million in real estate. It's impossible. You might have 10, 20 white supremacists sitting in the corner, but guess what? You got 10, 20 other regular people right there waiting for you to take them on as a client. It's impossible to be stopped in real estate. Niggas just be putting these roadblocks in their head.
may I ask
Yes, what?
you where
Yes.
you're located?
Huh?
May I ask you where you're located?
I'm
Before we get to
located.
that, let me finish asking my question before I was rudely kicked off by Twitter. Before
Okay.
I was rudely kicked off, my brother. No, man, people leaving. Okay, my brother, you said you have a degree in psychology and you
Yes.
studied very hard for your degree. Now you have the ability to do things that you didn't have the ability to do before you got the degree, correct?
Yes.
Now you still have obstacles even though you have that degree. But because you have a degree and you have whatever job you have, I'm not sure what your job is and what your finances are. I'm not going to have you say that, on the Twitter space or whatever, not going to get all up in your business.
I
But
understand.
because you have more access to resources, you are able to do things and move in certain places and move in certain ways that you weren't able to do before. Okay. If you're just mopping up the floors at McDonald's and you don't have any plan to get out of McDonald's, and I'm not saying most black men don't, because most black men, especially the ones I know, are very ambitious.
Right.
But I'm saying if that's where it is, and you're saying, okay, well, that's just how it is, you know, then then you won't be able to move out of your mom's house. If your car breaks down, you won't be able to do anything. I gave an example earlier. My tire was slashed by something I hit in the road, and I was immediately able to get it towed to a tire shop and put a brand new tire on it and then get back to handling my business as usual. It didn't slow me down. Now, if I only had $15 in my bank account, that would have completely destroyed what I had going on that day.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You need your money to be straight. You
I
need
agree with
finances.
I agree with you. I wasn't disagreeing with you on your premise, like on your main point or anything like that. I guess I just saw it as with me, I've always just been in competition with myself. And naturally that has pushed me further than the white people that I know. But
Okay, I mean, that's good. That's good. I'm not saying don't be in competition. You should always be in competition with yourself.
yeah, I think it's just setting the bar a little low. I think in some cases being in competition with them because they'll just use that as an excuse. Well, this person interviewed better or this person's a better fit. You know what I'm saying? So we kind of do have to actually go a level above to even be considered in a lot of industries,
But
especially.
but but
Hold,
Doctor,
hold on. I really want to move this conversation along because
Okay.
Marcella's in the building. So I want to get to we'll put a pin in that. I know where you're coming from, Dr. Palco.
Well, thank
But
you for having me.
yeah. This no disrespect. It's all love. You know, we can put a pin in that. If you want to come back up later, you can. I want to get to East Sides real quick, and then Marcel.
Yeah, I appreciate it and peace to the family. Um, to piggyback off of what y'all said, especially our brother Rich. Oh, sorry about that. Um, white supremacy, they spend time grooming their men, to be leaders. And I think this is something that is often overlooked. Neely Fuller taught us a long time ago that they study us. They know us better than we know ourselves. And that's only because they study us. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how that goes. Now, we should be spending time, instead of hating on what somebody else doing. Sure, I personally want to ask the brother Rich about this whole real estate thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I need to find a way to level up. We should always keep looking. And I'll land my plane there.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you very much. Marcel, you can go ahead.
Oh, hey, Afro. Yep, I was coming to pretty much. I didn't think I got to hear you out what you were saying, and you had left the room. So I'm coming to hear why you feel like broke black men can't lead. And when I say lead, I'm talking about in the sense of the movement for reparations and things of that nature. Because I'm really not understanding why we are, in my opinion, devaluing a black man's ability to be a leader based on their economic status, especially in this system.
Okay. Well, that's a good question. Now, as far as the push for reparations, that doesn't necessarily require any finances. That doesn't
What I'm
require.
talking about.
Okay, but when I say lead, I didn't mean in like one specific aspect. That's not necessarily what I meant by the tweet. I just meant be a qualified leader in general, leading your people, your community, your family, being able to make boss and leadership moves. You're not able to do that if you're financially struggling. And I'm saying that to say, oh, okay, you came up. I'm saying that to say, if a person, if a grown man cannot take care of himself because he doesn't have the finances to take care of himself, then that grown man is not in a position to assist anybody else in taking care of themselves. Nor is that grown man in a position to really be taken as that much of a reliable source of information. That grown man is not able to be taken in a reliable source of information. Marcel, me and you both know, in order to do things in the community, to start schools, to open clinics, to do all of the things that we desperately need to do in the community, that stuff costs money. You need money to be able to move the way you want to. We're having a pull-up summer. We're having a rally coming up soon. You need money to go to those places. You need money to pull up places. You need money to donate to other things, to other people's campaigns and things like that. These things cost money. When the Black Panther Party, when they were feeding black children, when they started the breakfast program, the breakfast wasn't free. That stuff costs money. These things cost money. We can't act as if, we're just going to go off of good character. Good character is a main part of being a good leader, but you can't be in that position if you just have good character alone. You need money to be able to fund your ideas and be able to fund your objectives and your goals. And if you don't have that, money will always stop you. You will never be able to succeed if money is always an issue for you. That's what
So
I'm saying. You can't be. I'm not disqualifying them. I know you might feel like I'm disqualifying them. I'm not. I said you got to get your weight up. I didn't say you were useless. There was a point in time where I didn't have money at all. My bank account was in a negative at times. I was struggling. I had
that
to
can happen
ask
again,
my
man.
parents for money. You know, I wasn't in a position to lead at that point, at that stage I was in. And that's just me being honest about myself. I had to understand, okay, I got to get my credit together. I got to get my savings together. I got to get some type of skill that's gonna get a job that's gonna pay me enough money so I can live a lifestyle that I want to live. And I'm still not done yet. I'm not saying I'm a baller at all, but what I'm saying is that when I was struggling, I was not in a position to do the things that I needed to do for the community. For instance, if there's a pull-up summer, you can't even afford to take off of work if you're struggling. Now, if you're an entrepreneur, you can do that. You can make moves like that. But you can go ahead.
So okay, well, I'm talking about in the sense of the reparations movement. Who among us is not struggling? That's the thing. Yes, there are many Black Americans who make pretty good income. That is a given. But we all know wealth is measured by assets. things like land and stocks and bonds. So when you say that broke black men can't lead, those have historically been the primary men that have led in the black American community. And the reason they were leading is because of the fact that financial stability is something rooted out by people because of the system that descendants of American slaves have historically had to live under. So if we're going to tell black men, and I'm talking about in the sense of the reparations movement, that's all I'm talking about, in the sense of doing good for your community. If we're going to tell black men that they cannot lead until they are quote unquote financially stable, something that black America has never known, and they have to get their weight up, quote unquote, to be financially stable in a system that's going to stop them from being financially stable, then we're going to just be telling our people to do what most of our people are doing now in this rat race, trying to financial stability through entrepreneurship, through education. Those things are admirable, but at the end of the day, even black Americans who are full-time employed, college educated, are still poorer than a poor white high school dropout. So it's the system that we need to be targeting. And we need to be inviting every man to take the lead in dismantling this system that has been oppressive to the descendants of American slaves. I don't understand why we would tell them that they can't lead in that regard.
Okay.
It's, and this is not a joke. This ain't something for us, and I'm not saying you're doing it. I'm talking to any of us. It includes me. This ain't no joke. I am tired of us trying to flex on our men who have it the hardest. Like because we need someone to look down upon. We need someone to talk trash about. Often the brokest black man is the hardest working black man. And a lot of the people who donated to me would probably be classified as quote unquote broke. They gave the little they had. It was broke black men giving the little they had. They started the schools, that started support black businesses. We should be, for the half of those broke black men, inviting them to dismantle the system that has most of our people there.
Exactly. And that's a great point you made. A lot of the black people who donated now, I respect what you've done for the people. I respect you running against Jim Clyburn. I respect that. That we need more people out there doing that. And you had people, and our people aren't the most well off, but who were donating to your campaign. You also had brothers who do have financial stability, like Jason Black, like Tariq Nasheed, who helped and donated to the campaign. Now I want you to think, if half of the people who donated were on the level of Tariq Nasheed or were on the level of Jason Black, your campaign would have been much better funded. The issue is that most of the people who were funding your campaign were struggling. If most of the people trying to push, I don't know, like if there was like a brick or a car or something, if most of the people trying to push an object, then it's going to be very difficult. I'm saying we need to get stronger. If we had some sort of financial stability, and I'm not saying you have to be Tariq Nasheed or Jason Black, but if we had more people like them that were able to fund campaigns and fund different programs and things like that, we would become better off. And I'm not blaming black men for doing, and I know that might be how it's coming off, but I'm not blaming black men for being in that position whatsoever. I understand about you, Marcel. You know me very well, and I talk about this on the YouTube and everything. I understand what we've been through. I posted something earlier today about how a black man's business license was taken down because of quote unquote noise complaints out here in Chicago. So I understand we get sabotaged left and right. Damned if we do, damned if we don't. I swear to God, I understand that. However, that does not change the simple fact that with resources, you can't do what you could do with resources.
But see, those are two different things. Being broke, money is an important resource, but it's not the only resource. A person's time is a resource. A person's energy is a resource. A person's generosity, sharing the little they have, is a resource. It is instead, you mentioned that if we're trying to push a weight uphill and everyone is weak, we're going to have a harder time. But look at ants. Ants are small little creatures, but they can live sometimes up to 10 times their size. You want to know why? Because all of them grab a piece and they lift it together. They don't tell someone, you weak, go sit your weak self down somewhere. They say, everyone, we need to overcome this obstacle together, and they lift it together. They don't exclude someone because they need someone upon whom they could look down upon and feel like they're superior to. And by the way, the problem is not money or people being broke. If there are plenty of people who have way more money than Tariq Nasheed and Jason Black who knew about my campaign and could have donated and chose not to. It was mainly the broke people who donated to me. Far more so-called people with money. And you want to know why? Because people with money in this system are going to be invested in trying to save it. But those of us, the majority of us, that realize that this system is always going to prevent us from having financial stability, we are more likely to remember and realize that this system is inherently anti-black and the system needs to change. So instead of us getting on this rat race to get something that we're never going to get underneath this current system, we need to be inviting every black man, poor, broke, intermittently wealthy, intermittently poor, into the course to change this system. That's why I spoke to everyone, and that's why a lot of quote unquote broke people sometimes would donate to me just sometimes $3.67. Sometimes they would donate to me $20. I can tell they were donating what they had. So they might have been broke materially, but they were rich spiritually. They had a deep love for their people. Whereas the people who have their weight up, quote unquote, did very little.
And that's why we need more of the people who have the rate up. I'm not saying, Marcel, I'm not saying, because you said this in the other space too, that, oh, if you don't have your weight up, go sit down. I never said go sit down. I said the exact opposite. I told people you need to get your weight up. I'm trying to encourage people like, no, we still need you to be a part of the team. Just because you don't have the resources now don't mean you're not a part of the team, don't mean you're not important. That means you need to get the skills necessary so you can be a valuable member of the team. You need to be a powerful member, a part of the team. If you're struggling to put food on your table, there's only so much you can do. Moral support is great and is very needed. We do need that support, but we also need financial support. And there's only so much you can do if you do not have the finances. We
Yeah,
can't really
but
get
but but
anywhere
excuse
without
me,
the
brother
finance.
Afro Elite. There are a lot of people that have money that don't know what to say or what to do.
Sir, no, thank you.
Hold on. Afro, who among us is not struggling? Among us does not struggle to put food on the table. Have you seen the finances for Black Americans? We're heading on a downward spiral. So because all of our people are trying to get their weight up, quote unquote, in a system that is determined to keep us thin violently, we need to be telling those people, instead of trying to get your weight up, let's get our reparations. Because underneath this current system, we're going to be on a rat race trying to get our weight up, and we're going to be in the grave, and the system's going to continue to live on after us. Instead of telling broke people they can't lead, we need to allow them to lead in the capacity that they can. And by the way, just because a person is broke doesn't mean they don't have any skills. Okay, there are many skilled people that are broke. There are brilliant people, I can tell you about them, that are broke. And there are people, you said once upon a time your account was in the negative. Well, guess what, Afro? That can happen again, because it happened to me. I hadn't had my account in the negative in almost 20 years. But guess what? It happened to me. And it only took one paycheck for me to be gone, and it happened. And I came in here and heard someone talk about some niggas always putting offensive things. Roadblocks have been put in our way. If you are a descendant of American slaves and you've been here for centuries, there's never been a day gone by where roadblocks have not been put in our way. That's why you have people like myself, just use an example, who could go from being relatively barely financially stable to now having to use what should be my retirement fund to survive. And thank God I had that. So my thing is this: don't ever tell a person that they can't do something, because you may very well become that person the next day, and you were already doing it.
If I did, if I woke up and all of my money was out of my bank account, let's say I was hacked or something like that, all of my money was out and I was in the negative, I'm right now, currently where I am, I'm in a better position to get my finances together. Back when my account was in the negative, I only had one stream of income. I didn't have multiple streams of income. I didn't have a skill. I do now. I make more money now and faster now than I did when I was in that position. That's why I can bounce back. Now I agree with what you said. We need to be as far as reparations, but as you just confessed, a lot of our people, not all, but a lot of our people aren't doing that well. So we can walk and chew bubble gum at the same time. You can focus on advocating for reparations, and you can focus on getting your personal finances up at the same time. It doesn't have to be a one or the other. I'm not saying we should abandon reparations or we don't deserve reparations. We don't need reparations. I'm trying to say, okay, yeah, we need reparations. We're owed reparations. We're coming to get our check. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., but you also, as you're doing that, to give you the better ability to even do that, you need to be focusing on getting yourself together. How are y'all going to even show up at the rally if you guys can't pay your rent on time? And that's what
So
I'm saying. You need to be in a position to where you can better yourself so you can better your people. You can't better your people if you can't even better yourself. That's what I'm saying. You have to focus on building yourself, and you can work on building with the people as well too. It doesn't have to be a either or type of situation.
After all due respect, you're the one that made it either or. You said if you're broke, you can't lead, or if you are not broke, then you can lead. You made an either or situation when you made that comment. Now, a person can lead. Most black people, I have never met a black person who is deliberately trying to be broke. Of course, on an individual level, we have people who are lazy and don't want to do anything. But overall, black people, we're the people who built Black Wall Street from nothing, okay? We already know our history. We build it up, they destroy it now. So we have historically been the most industrious people, but have also been the people from whom most have been taken. And a person's value is not in.
You cut out. You cut out. Okay. Well, until you get back, I will say this. No, a person's value is not finances. I never said that. I'm not saying that you having money makes you a good leader at all, or a good person for that matter. It is a either or. Oh, it seems like he's coming. He might be coming back sometime. It is a either or type of situation. Everybody's not in the same level. You don't have to be a leader. There's different people. There's leaders, there's followers, there's soldiers, there's the voice multipliers. Let me invite you back. I'm not sure uh why I kicked you out. Hold on, let me see. I just invited you back in. Do it one more time. Okay, hold on. Hold on. You know, I mean, Marcel, that's just the reality. I'm not telling people they need to sit down. I'm telling people they need to get themselves together so they're not struggling. When you're struggling, when you can barely feed yourself, when you can barely provide for yourself, I just accepted your request. I'm not sure what's going on. But when you can barely provide for yourself, then you need to focus on getting yourself in a safe position. You know, when you fly in an airplane, and they do the test where they have the airbags come down, they tell you when the airbags come down, focus on getting yourself oxygen first and focus on the other person. You have to save yourself
No,
to be able to save the
no,
other person.
no, sorry. Many, you talk about MLK and Malcolm X and how, oh, they left their families good. Do you know how they did that? Because those same broke people took the lead in sharing the little they had with them, and the little they had made a lot. Now, if they had the
That's
attitude,
incorrect, Marcel. That's incorrect. We do not live in the
it doesn't
1960s
matter.
anymore.
It happens now.
It
It
does
does
matter.
not. It was broke
Marcel,
people.
it 100% does
No,
matter.
it
We
was
are in a
broke
very
people
different
that
age.
financed my campaign. It was broke people that financed my campaign. We are
And
largely
let me ask
wealthy
you,
people.
if it was rich people who financed your campaign,
No,
don't you
it was
think you would have had an
homeless
easier
people.
time,
The,
Marcel?
the,
Okay.
the majority of people that donated to my campaign, they had to put their employment, and I saw the jobs they had. Clerks at Walmart, okay? custodians at a school. I know the jobs they have, and I know they don't pay well. It was these so-called broke people taking the lead, all of them giving the little they had, and it made a lot. Now, if
And
I was
if
to have the
and
attitude,
all I'm saying, and if half the people who donated to you made 6-figure plus, you would have had way more donation
the
money.
problem
We
is
can make bigger moves.
Afro elite. The problem, okay, that's why we're going for reparations because we know we're old our resources.
And
We can do more.
and
That's the
Marcel, I agree.
problem.
You keep arguing with me on stuff I agree with, brother. I fully
Because you're
agree on
saying broke black men,
reparations.
they can't lead. And I thought we was in a country where no one can tell us what we can't do. That's my problem. And coming from a
Marcel,
person who knows better.
Marcel, I'm telling you, I'm not saying you will never be a leader. I'm saying you are not in a position to lead. I mean, we have to be
So
realistic, Marcel. We
wait a
got to be
minute.
realistic, Marcel.
Everyone doesn't need to donate six figures. Sometimes $5 here, $5 there helps a lot. Okay,
Marcel, I
sometimes
feel
we
like
go
you're
through
really
a
missing the
little.
point, brother. I feel like you're missing the point, my brother.
Afro, could I respond?
Hold on. Let me let Marcel land his plane real quick.
There are
I'm looking.
many people like a lady. You have many Southern pastors without money at all. But let me tell you, the people in the community, even the young people, respect them and will do anything they ask them. They're broke. I'm not talking about these poverty pimps we have, like the TD Jakes and that Joel Osteen, whatever. I'm talking about these real ones who really do believe in the Bible. People, they're broke, they struggle, and people do whatever they ask them to do. And they can get money from the people if they choose to. No one's sitting here telling people you should stay broke. We're not Black Americans. We've always worked to enrich ourselves, and we would have been rich had they not stolen our wealth from us. But to tell a broke Black man what he can't do, we should be encouraging him to do all that he can do. Yes, to benefit and enrich himself and his family, but also to change the system that makes financial stability an impossibility for most of us. And the fact that I saw some of the people here laughing and hee-hee-hawing about our economic pain. Ain't nothing funny about that.
Marcel, okay. If you go to the gym and the most you can bench is 150, and I'm not saying this could apply to me or anybody else. If the most you can bench is 150 pounds, it would be wrong for somebody to say, well, nobody can tell you what you can't do. You can bench 250 pounds. No, you're not at that level yet. You can get to that level. I'm not saying that you can't get to that level, but you're not at that level yet. You're not at the level where you can make moves freely. You're at that level where you are dependent. If you do not have the finances to make you independent, you are dependent. If you're at the place where if your job called you and say, hey, I know it's your off day, but you better come in tomorrow or you're going to be fired. If you have to get up because you don't have another job, you don't have another skill to find another place, then you are dependent on certain things. And I'm not blaming the Black men for being in that position. I'm just trying to say you are limited in what you can do. And you just admitted that. You just admitted that by saying the people who donated to your campaign only donated like $5, $3, $10 here. I'm saying, let's imagine if Black men focus their weight up and Black men, all of the Black men who donated $5, they donated $50.
Yeah, but
So
what you
wait,
didn't say,
AJ, hold on. I'm
what you
sorry.
didn't say, what you
What I didn't say is that you can speak.
okay.
Afro, so
Well,
are you
I'm out of
saying?
here then, brother.
Then leave. Then okay. I didn't
Are
ask you to
you
be. I didn't ask you to be here.
are you saying that Black men are not focusing on quote unquote getting their weight up? But if the system okay, so you say lifting 150 pounds, I want to lift 200 and I can't. I will never be able to lift 200 pounds if the system is keeping me malnourished. Should we not deal with the issue of malnourishment so I can get myself up, lift those weights?
Why cannot we do both? That's what I'm asking you,
And
because you keep
Black
saying we should
people have
focus
been
on
trying to do
reparations
no,
as
no,
if
Afro, listen.
okay.
We've been
Marcel,
trying to get
can I
our
give you an
weight up
example?
only. We've been trying to get our weight up only for decades. Now we're finally realizing reparations is what has to happen first. Because
No,
until that happens,
that
we're going
is
to be in a system
incorrect,
that keeps us
Marcel.
in.
First off, Marcel, your statement implies that all Black Americans are in that position. All Black Americans are not in that poor, broke position. Most Black Americans are not financially broke and poor like that.
Wait a
We're
minute.
not
Have you
all
seen
poor.
data?
Now,
Have you
we
seen
don't
the
have
data?
no, Marcel, you know I'm a data dude. You
So then
know that,
your
Marcel.
statement is
We
you
don't
know
have
your statement is
access to
wrong.
capital and wealth. That is not me. That's not just because you don't have wealth, that does not make you broke.
Have you seen? You know we are a wealthless group, right? Financial
I'm not
stability
saying
comes
wealth. You're bringing wealth
from
into the
income.
conversation. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying
Financial
you got to
stability.
get your income up, Marcel. There
No,
are Black Americans who make a decent amount of income to where they can live
income
comfortably.
is inconsequential when it comes to financial stability. You know it. And guess what? I'm living proof because if income was financial stability, I wouldn't have to be using my retirement right now. That's about to
Marcel,
leave. Income is not
Marcel, all
financial
Black Americans are
stability.
not in that struggling position.
But
You
a
make
lot,
it seem like we're all 100% in that struggling position, and
do
that's
you
not
know
the case.
the average income of a Black American male
Marcel, I know the
is
data, Marcel.
okay,
I
well, then you can
100%, and
know.
I agree, Marcel. I fully agree, bro.
So why
I
would you
fully
tell a
agree.
Black man that because he's broke, he's not fit to lead? That's the thing that I'm not getting.
Because he's Marcel.
Because he's useless.
Because it doesn't matter. You're not. He's not. He's not going to be taken serious. He's
By
not going to.
who? I
He's
think
not taken serious because the moves that he wants to make is not going to be able to become
according
accomplished
to whom,
because.
Afro?
Okay, let's look at Dr. Umar Johnson.
No, hold on,
How
no, hold
long?
on.
Listen,
Everyone doesn't
I'm gonna
want to
give you an
drive a
example. You asked
Lamborghini.
me a question, Marcel. I'm gonna give you an example. Let's look at Dr. Umar Johnson. How long has he been talking about getting his school together? He's been talking about that for years and years and years now. And what's holding him up is the money. He keeps asking people, I just need more money. I just need more money. If he had the finances to be able to move the way he wanted to, he would be able to do the things he wanted to do. If you don't have those finances, then it limits the ability for you to be able to move. All Black people do not have the same financial situation. We might not have access to wealth because of white supremacy, but we do not all have the same financial situation. All I'm saying is you need, as a Black individual, especially a Black man, you need to focus on putting yourself in a better financial situation.
And
That's
Black
what I'm
people
saying.
have been trying, and Black people have been trying to do that for centuries. And what impedes us, is this system that needs to be our focus. And everyone,
Marcel, you're
rich,
not getting
average,
the
and
point.
poor,
How you
needs to
not
be trying
getting
to
the point,
focus.
Marcel?
No, I'm
Okay, so
personally
no, you're
getting
not
the
because
point.
you're saying we should focus on reparations.
Also,
So we should
everyone does.
all let's. So
Everyone
what you're
doesn't
saying,
need.
Marcel, brother.
Everyone doesn't want their leader showing up in a Lamborghini.
What,
Everyone doesn't need their
Marcel? I
leader
didn't
showing
say
up in a
anything
private
about being
helicopter.
rich, Marcel.
Some
That's
people
not what I'm
respect
saying,
their
Marcel.
leaders.
Listen. I'm saying this. As we're pushing for reparations, we can make moves to accomplish
We
reparations
are
if
doing
we
that
not.
already.
No,
We do
Marcel.
that
Okay, because
already.
we are working on getting our weight up.
No, but
You're saying
for you to
Marcel,
say,
you are
okay, and in the
literally the
meantime, he
only
can't leave.
person. Marcel, you're literally the only single person who's making it seem as if it has to be one way or the other. Oh,
No,
well,
that's
you
what
know
you're
what?
doing,
Getting
Afro.
your finances together, that's not going to work. So screw getting your finances together. Let's all 100% focus on reparations and completely ignore getting your finances together. You can do both.
When did I say that? When did I say ignore
Marcel,
getting your finances
Marcel,
together? When did I
that's
say that?
that's what you're implying. Okay, so you're
No,
not.
no,
So
I'm
why
not.
can't we do both?
Excuse me.
Okay,
No, I'm
okay. If
saying
that's not what you
no.
said,
Listen,
then
I'm
let me
saying you
apologize
cannot
because I'm not
tell.
trying to put words in your mouth. But I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. But where I'm coming from is saying we as foundational Black Americans, we should be striving to do both. We should be especially as Black men, we should be striving to get our financial situation together so we're not economically struggling on the day-to-day basis, and we should be advocating and pushing for reparations. You can do both those things 100%. One doesn't take away from the other at all. That's the
So
point I'm making.
But no, Afro, you are the one who said one way or the other. You said that a black man, until he can lead, should just focus on getting his weight up. What I have been saying is that black Americans, from our black Wall Streets to the PPP loans that we only got 1% of, but we've started more new businesses than any other group. We've been trying to focus on getting our weight up. The reason we're still thin and emaciated is because of this. So we don't need to be telling broke black men, sit this one out, just focus on getting your weight up. We need to tell them, focus on getting your weight up, and you can still lead to help dismantle this system that keeps us emaciated. And that's my point right there. We should not
Marcel,
be
you just repeated me. I swear to God, you just repeated me. That's exactly what I've been saying the entire time. I never told anybody to sit this one out. I never told anybody to sit down. I've been telling people what you need to be doing is multitasking, focusing on building yourself, becoming a more financially stable, becoming more intelligent, becoming a better person in general, and focus on reparations. I didn't say solely focus on yourself and ignore reparations. I'm saying do both. And now you just said do both. So we really both agree. We really both are
so
on the same page.
if we agree to answer, then why would you say they can't lead? Then you should say
Okay.
lead, but also focus on getting your weight up. Not tell them they can't lead, because maybe to you that broke man is not a leader, but to some little boy or someone out there, that broke man is the leader. They don't care if he's broke or not. They admire other qualities about him. That's my issue, Afro. We should not be
I didn't say
excluding
you
people
have to be
based on
Marcel.
superficial characteristic. And
Marcel, I didn't
that's
say you had to be a leader to be a good person or to be valuable. That's not what I'm saying at all. And first off, that post, that tweet that I made, I was not referring to reparations as far as leading a campaign for reparations. That's not what I was referring to. I was referring to leading in your community and just leading your family in general as a black man. I wasn't referring to like, you know, advocating for reparations. So I think
Well,
that's
then
probably
I
where
guess
the big confusion
misunderstood.
is.
And I came in this space because I didn't want any hard feelings, because some people don't know how to disagree and move on. Some people, I mean, I've had people do this. They disagree and then they follow you, and it's a big deal. So I came in here just to make sure we was on good terms. 'Cause as you already know, I'm not afraid to go in spaces where people don't agree with me. I wouldn't be running for office if I couldn't. So I guess so I'm glad it was a misunderstanding. I apologize for jumping to conclusions thinking it was about reparations, but because I'm a person who still lives, well, all of us do. If you're a Black American, this part goes for all of us. But I'm just for me. I'm a person who still lives in an extremely impoverished area. But I see Black men every single day with nothing, giving what they have and leading in their community. And I would never tell them that they can't lead. And that's it. And I came over here just to make sure that I know you're still on code. I know you still love your people. I just didn't understand what the message I thought that tweet was sending and the responses. You can't control how people respond. I can't control how people respond. People come to me all the time saying, Marcel, get your followers in check. I said, I can't do that. I mean, I can't control how people respond. But the tweets, the responses I saw were absolutely disgusting. It was poverty shaming, not from you, and it was people demeaning Black men in poverty, as if Black men don't get crapped on enough in this society. And when I say Black men, I'm talking about freedmen, descendants of American slaves, and that's it. That's the only thing for me. And that's brilliant. I'm cool.
Okay. Well,
Ask me something.
let's I want to get to the hands. Some people haven't spoken. I'm glad that you see, family, this is how we have a dialogue. We disagreed in the beginning and we were able to talk it out. It wasn't no, you know what, damn you, I'm following we're not out in the timeline throwing shots at each other. It's none of that. We still brothers and we still got the same agenda. So let's get to the hands, because I know they've been itching to say something for a good minute. Um Rich, you can go ahead, and then we'll go to FBA Antonio, and then uh uh Mikael.
I really have to leave after Rich, really, because I'm supposed to have been. I left the space supposed to have been left, but I can listen to what Rich has to say.
Yeah, I wanted to address you because the last time I spoke about a conversation like this, you said what I was saying was anti-black, and that really, really rubbed me the wrong way because you never heard me speak before, and for you to say something very reckless like that, that really, really rubbed me the wrong way.
No, I said it's anti-Black American, and for you, I didn't know you were of Haitian descent, but when I found out to hear you saying nigga, yeah, that rubs me the wrong way because that's not your lineage, that's not your history. So from coming from a person who's not a descendant of American slaves, to me it sounds like it's coming from a white person. So I make no apologies about what I said.
That's not what I was addressing. You said me. You said I was poverty shaming and I was anti-black for those comments. I'm not talking about nigga. I never heard you say anything about nigga.
Oh, I did say that to you. I don't remember the thing about poverty shaming. Oh, you talk about when you talk about go to a fancy restaurant, all that stuff like that.
Yeah, you said that was
Yeah, I
anti-black.
came up and I said it sounded like it was poverty shaming, and I said I came up just to get an understanding because maybe I'm just taking things too personal. Look, if y'all prefer someone who just sits in the audience and pouts, there are many people who do that. But when I feel some kind of way, I thought that's what we're supposed to do in these spaces. We're supposed to be upfront and say, "Hey, this kind of bothers me, but maybe I don't understand."
But
That's how
but but
I
but
roll.
here's the problem though. When are you going to make the scoreboard even? Because everybody's always picking on Afro this, Afro that. The amount of reckless shit security tribe be doing, and you niggas never approach them niggas. Y'all don't say
And there
nothing
you
to
go
security
saying the
tribe.
N word again, and you're Haitian and not a freedman.
Bro, listen, bro. I don't know you from a can of paint. You're not gonna
And I
stop
don't know you from a can of Coke.
exactly. So you're not gonna stop me from saying nigger. You're not gonna. I don't know you.
It's
Don't you can't,
easy for you to say that on Twitter Spaces.
dude. Just stop. This is that gangster talk. Just stop. I didn't say anything gangster. You don't say anything gangster to me, please. I'm having a civil conversation with you.
Not when you're saying the nigga and you are not a descendant of American freedmen. Now, listen, you are in these reparation conversations. If you was just some like, uh
I'm sorry, my phone froze. My Twitter space has been tripping and kicked me out today. I tried to mute it and then it just went on a rapid thing. Okay, but let's refresh this. We're not gonna start this. We're calming down now. We're settling down.
Nah, I'm not
Okay.
selling nothing now, bro. He
So
wants to
so
turn
we're
up. He
not
could
gonna
turn up.
no, we're not. Oh, first off, all of the threatening. If y'all wanna have a conversation in the
No, he
background,
started that. He started that. I didn't say
okay.
anything threatening.
Well,
He
yeah,
started
okay.
that.
So we're not going to threaten nobody anymore. Okay, and that
He's
go and
telling.
I'm not saying who did it, but as far as because Marcel, you did kind of throw your little thing out there
And
when you
oh,
said that you
and let
would
me
do
say
that.
What I
To
want
his
to
face.
say
So we're
though,
not we're
if
not
he was
addressing that
some
anymore.
Haitian guy on Twitter who I didn't know, fine. I can't police Twitter. But for him to be in these reparation spaces and to know we're delineating and to know that
sir,
certain
I'm
things
never
bother
in any.
Okay, hold
people.
on. Let's. You know what? We're going to skip past the N word because actually Rich did say something that I find it very interesting. So it was a weird deflection to the N word. Let's not deflect to the N word. Rich, why don't you continue with your point so we can get to the other hands?
Yeah, and he said I'm in.
'Cause Marcel's
Bro,
not going to be here that much longer anyway, and I don't want to take up too much of his time.
yeah, he said I'm in reparation spaces. That's a damn lie. Everybody knows me. I don't even barely even speak on reparation spaces. I'm speaking about white supremacy every single day. That's what I speak about. I'm never sitting here on Twitter being a co-host about reparations. How could I be a co-host and speak about reparations when I'm not getting it? That don't even make sense. Everybody knows Rich don't speak about no damn reparations. So that's a damn lie.
Well, I was just assuming because you are with Afro, who is a reparationist, that's the type of energy you are on as well. So, I mean, I thought that was something you supported.
Well, he does support rep. Now I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna speak because I'm a foundation Black American and I am a reparationist. He does support us getting reparations. He does not really speak on things like if we have a space, he'll share the space, he'll like the space, but Rich isn't up there speaking on reparations. That's how he supports. Now, when we talk about police brutality, when we talk about anti-Black racism from the
the Asian community, the Hispanic community, then Rich will speak up on those spaces. And I have
And
my
that's what I'm saying. And listen, first,
so
I can't control anyone's speech, but I said what I said, and I stand by it. I said to Rich that when you said the word nigga, it sort of rubs me the wrong way. And that's it. And the thing about me saying poverty shaming, I remember that night. I said maybe I'm taking it too personal. And I was, but that's why I came up and asked, and we clarified it and we moved on. If it bothered you, you could have brought it up then. I mean, I barely remember what was even being talked about. But see, that's why I came in Afro space. Because I like to nip things in the bud. Because I have a history
What
of holding deep grudges and not saying anything, and then it turns into bitterness. I'm trying to do things differently. That's why I came in this space to talk right away. And you could talk to people who've met me in person. Quite a few people have. They can tell you I'm the same way. I will address things in person, and I will let people know that I have a strong voice, and sometimes my mannerisms are very strong. But please, it's not me being aggressive. It's just the way we kind of talk in the area where I'm from. But
my
being
question?
that being that you're in this space around people like Afro, and you know that we are delineating free men, and we're letting people know, black immigrants and their descendants, that hey, look, because you're quote unquote black, doesn't mean that's okay for you to say that. Like with that Nigerian guy about people getting lynched. No, you saying the N word is not comparable, but it's the same thing. And I just said I didn't like it.
Bro, I don't subscribe to nobody over there secure the tribe. I don't subscribe to
That's
nothing
not
y'all
secure
say.
the tribe. That's me. That's what a lot of us are doing.
I don't subscribe to that. I'm from New York City. Nobody's gonna tell me y'all can't say nigga.
And
I done got
that's why I don't live in New
I
York
done
City.
I done got my ass whooped for nigga. I done got beat up for nigga. I done got police done put my ass up and down for nigga. Ain't nobody gonna tell me I can't say nigga. I don't know who you are.
question, can I ask you a question? Um, Now it appears that you feel uncomfortable, and I understand that you feel uncomfortable with Rich saying the N word, and he's in my spaces often. He's in my spaces co-hosting, or if not co-hosting, speaking in my spaces. So is it? Are you trying to imply that you would prefer me to stop him from saying that, or something like that?
No,
Or
I'm
that's
not asking any grown man to police another grown man. I told Rich it's disrespectful for him to say the word nigga in the presence of descendants of American slaves. That is not his word. That is not of his lineage, but he still chooses to use it. That speaks a lot about his character and his feelings about this movement that we are in. It just says a lot about him. And like I said, I ain't going to lose sleep over him deciding to still be disrespectful. But I know, like I said, I have a Nigerian friend, and I told him when he said nigga, I told him it just didn't sound right, and I told him it sounded like it was coming from a white man, and he stopped out of respect. So I told him
well,
you won't be in my face saying that. Rich
well,
is on Twitter, so what? But I
it,
don't like
it,
it.
and I understand that my grandmother doesn't like the word being used among Black Americans or anything, but in my hold on, let me see, hold on, let me see. Okay, anyway, in the defense, if we're going to talk about respect, we're going to talk about respect. We have rooms where people like me and Rich are constantly slandered, are constantly disrespected, and that respect never gets addressed. And you address the disrespect that you feel like Rich is putting on to FBA. So I'm saying, in order to move the needle forward, if we're going to address one person, and this is why it's coming off as kind of offensive, because I'm not gonna lie, when Secure the Tribe, when they slander me, which you have admitted, when they have disrespected me, when they have called me names, called me things outside my names, made memes about me being FBI agent, being William O'Neill, and when that's cool, that's just, I mean, and I'm not shaming you, I'm not telling you who you can and can't mess with, but you don't see me doing that. You don't see me telling people, oh, you can't rock with Secure the Tribe because they're saying that. So I feel like we're not keeping an even hand when it comes to the respect of foundational Black Americans. If I'm, as a foundational Black American reparationist, can be disrespected and slandered day in and day out, and that never be addressed. But then when Rich, who is a Black first person, when he says the N word, that has to be addressed. I feel like we need to start keeping an even hand as far as that's concerned.
So two things. I'm not in control. I don't hold spaces often, but when I do, like tonight, and some people try to say demeaning things about you, people who were in that room can attest. I stopped it immediately. So when I have the mute button, I will. Yep, thank you, Antonio. I will stop it immediately and say, please don't do that. But like I just said to Rich, who still insists on saying the word nigga, I'm not gonna go around trying to police adults. And you know, when I'm with Secure the Tribe, I'll say to them, y'all, don't do that, y'all. Come on, guys. Hey, after if they still do it though, what I'm supposed to do? Drive them and fight them? So look, here's the truth too. All of y'all be getting into little beefs, and people be asking me, Marcel, please speak, please do something, please speak. I don't get in trying to police it though, because usually the more you try to bring peace, the worse it gets. Sometimes you just gotta let things blow over. Now, there's a difference though between people calling you a name. I mean names all the time. There's a difference between that and the word nigga, which has a centuries long, brutal, disgusting history attached to it. And there's a word that it has a long history in the culture of people who are descendants of American slaves, not in the history of Haitians.
Well, as a foundational Black American who is also a reparationist, I am a full-blooded foundational Black American. I can tell you myself personally, I am far more offended by being referred to as William O'Neal than when I hear Rich say nigga.
I've
So
never heard
maybe
that
that's just
referred.
our opinion. You haven't heard it? Because, I mean, Immortal Melanin keeps spamming it in the
No,
jumbo
I've heard.
group.
I'm really in with Immortal. I've heard Zesty Elite, which I think is like, I mean, it's just a silly name. People call me Harpo. They call me Pinocchio. People call me
Well,
all types of things.
now you know. Yeah. They call me Zesty Elite. They
And but
call
and
me
guess what?
FBI agent. They call
People
me William O'Neal. They say a lot of things, and I take that
but
as
no,
um.
honestly, I've been in the rooms lately, and it's been a long time since they've mentioned you. But again, nigga though is a whole different case. Nigga has a
I,
long,
I
brutal history
thing is
attached to it.
that in the system of white supremacy, Rich is a nigga. Rich is
But
the nigga just like
but
me
that
and you are
yeah,
niggas.
maybe in the system of white supremacy from a white person, but from a black person saying that word in this space where we are delineating and now letting black immigrants know, hey, there are boundaries now. You can't just say I'm black and I get to be in your spaces and have the same reach and have the same luxuries as you. It is a difference. But look, I
Well,
told Rick that when he mentioned it, and if he chooses to go for using it, that's fine. I mean, like it's Twitter. I can't police what people do on Twitter. I'm just letting him know I find it disrespectful. I may be the only person. Some people may not care. Some people might care. I'm not going to lose my freedom over someone being disrespectful like that. I'm just going to keep my distance. I mean, that's just, but I
this
let
is why we keep our distance from Secure the Tribe, because I've seen you in the room when they were threatening to box me, Sonny specifically. When
I've
he said
never
that,
heard
I
you
know where
say
you
any
stood,
physical violence
Marcel,
towards me.
my
Marcel
brother,
never
Marcel.
Marcel never hears nothing Secure the Tribe says, but every time
I've
Afro says
heard
something,
Zesty
he
Elite,
has
and
something
that's
to
it.
say.
Listen, y'all. I'm not about to do playground. This is like dealing with my middle school students. You like them, but you never say anything to her. I'm
No,
not doing
that's not what we're
it.
saying. All I'm saying is, Marcel, as black men, let's be fair about the disrespect, because we're coming over here. Rich promotes B1. He's not anti reparations. He's not anti FBA. He holds his Haitian people accountable. He's more on code than a lot of FBA are. And this is me speaking as a full-blooded FBA. And you're getting on him for saying the N word, and you got other full-blooded FBA who slander FBA all day, who talk crazy shit about FBA all day, who call them agents, who call them zesty, who call them trans and all of that stuff, threatening to fight them and box them, and they don't get addressed with the same energy that Rich is being addressed with. So all I'm saying is that if you want to address Rich, if you feel like that's offensive because he's not FBA, and I can't tell you how to feel. All I'm saying is, for the sake of moving the needle forward, let's keep an even hand as far as addressing disrespect, because it seems as if disrespect only gets addressed when it's addressed in this direction. That's the only time anybody recognizes or cares to address disrespect. So we have
Again,
to keep
I
an
don't
even
I
hand
don't
going
host
forward.
I don't host spaces often, but when I do, I don't allow anyone to demean one. Even when Pan Africanism strikes back, comes in a room and people try to call him fat and Kung Fu Panda and all that crazy and Black Panda and all that crazy stuff, whatever. I always tell them, hey, stop. I don't allow that in my spaces. But if people are throwing bombs at each other on Twitter, I'm not going to intervene in that. But if I'm in a space with someone who is supposed to be an ally, because that's what Rich is, he's not of our lineage. He claims to be an ally. I'm letting Rich know as a full-blooded freedman, FBA, too, that staring nigga from someone who's not black really bothers me. And I told Rich that like last month or something like that.
Wait, hold
M-
on. So you
Rich,
think
Rich,
I
wait,
wait,
hold
wait.
on, Marcel.
You,
The space you were just in,
I
Check
stopped
came up there and started putting negative, slanderous
and I
things about me
deleted
in the
it. And I
jumbotron.
deleted it. I deleted
Okay,
it right away. And I
and
told
I'm
him,
saying, when you deleted it, did you check him and do you all like, hey, we're not going to disrespect Afro
yes,
Elite
I
like
did.
that?
I
I'm saying
paused the
we're
room.
going to. Okay, we have
I
people in the
paused the
space
room and
here.
I told people that's not going to happen. I said, I
Okay,
like that.
now I
And
also
told
want to address one thing going forward. You're
I,
not hosting this space, but you still address Rich. So you don't have to host the space to address somebody. You're saying when
well,
I
Rich
host the space,
addressed me. You talk about how I rubbed him the wrong way. And I was letting him know what happened and how him still saying the N word. He came at me. I was
no,
about to
no,
leave.
he responded based off of the last thing you said to him.
No,
He's
no.
responding
He
because
came to
you
me
said
about
something
something
to
that
him
happened
last
two
time y'all
days
were
ago.
in the
And I was like, okay, yeah, like whatever. But I'm good. I'm glad you and I spoke. Uh, Rich, I mean, whatever he does is kind of inconsequential to me. I'm glad we're good. I ain't going to police adults. I'm not. I always try to encourage people to get along with each other. People always try to ask me, Marcel, please get them to speed. I don't do it because things usually blow over. I hope you and Secure the Tribe, as brothers, come to some sort of friendly resolution. But I'm out of that. I love my FBA Freeman reparations family. And look here, y'all. I am not going to be some standard politician. If y'all think Marcel's going to be one of those politicians you never hear from, and I don't even like being called a politician because I'm really not. I'm just somebody who got involved in politics. If y'all think I'm going to be one of those people like you never hear from and you never see, and I just show up when I want something from you, you never hear from, that ain't going to be it. Yes, Marcel will be in spaces. Yes, Marcel will sometimes clap back. Yes, Marcel will sometimes get messy. Yes, Marcel will sometimes go there. Get used to it. If y'all want more of what we've had, like Clyburn, he's right there. There's plenty more of him coming down the pipeline. What we've been having isn't working for us. So this is maybe like a modern era politician. But Afro, I
Before you
definitely love
go, thank you. I
you.
want
And
to thank you for coming in so we can have this conversation and we can square everything. I want
I'm
to
really
thank
glad
you for
we
it.
spoke. Y'all take care.
All right.
If could I respond, Afro?
Yeah, go ahead and then we'll get to FBA Antonio and then Mikael.
If any one of these niggas think Rich is gonna stop saying nigga, you crazy. Ain't no security tribe niggas is gonna tell me what I can't and can't say. If you have a problem, I'm in New York City. You can meet me there. None of you niggas gonna tell me what I can't and can't say. You niggas,
When he says meet you, he doesn't mean that in a violent way. He's not threatening anybody. This is just for a civil conversation, right, Rich?
of course, we're just gonna have a civil conversation. I'm gonna take you to Philippe Child. We're gonna have some good dinner, and we're just gonna talk. That's all. I'm not gonna do anything to you. I love you. You're my brother. Be one all day, every day. But if you niggas think y'all gonna stop me from saying nigga or I'm not black, you niggas is crazy. You niggas is silly. Talking about black immigrants ain't black. So what are they then? In a system of white supremacy, if an immigrant is not black, well, then what is he then? Please, somebody come up here and explain to me. I see a lot of you moist secure the tribe niggas is in here. Bring your ass up. Please explain to me in a
Oh, why the
systematic way.
insults, brother?
Oh,
Hold on,
all right.
whoa, why the
Okay,
insults?
hold on. Because
Hold
I'm not
up,
even
we can't
going.
do that.
Hold on. I'm not even about to keep this space open too much longer. I did not plan on having this space as long as I did, so I don't want to turn this into that
Let
because
me I'm,
I don't even feel like keeping this space. I got stuff to do in the morning.
let me just keep this real short. If any one of you niggas think Rich is gonna stop saying nigga, then the best thing for you to do is come remove that word out of my mouth because that's the only way it's coming out of my mouth. And another thing is I'm gonna address if y'all saying that uh quote unquote melanated immigrants are not black, then you got to come to NYC and have all those quote unquote melanated immigrants. You got to have them. You got to speak to them and tell them they not black. I want to see how that's gonna go because you niggas is just silly. But I'll land right there.
And before we go, all I gotta say is if you don't like Rich saying the N word because he's Haitian, okay, that's your prerogative. There are some foundational Black Americans who don't like the N word in general. I don't really say it too much. You know, my grandma doesn't like that word whatsoever. I remember one of my little brothers said it in the same house she was, and she just heard it from the kitchen. And she sat him down and told him never to say that word again. So there are foundational Black Americans who don't tolerate that word whatsoever. So I'm not even going to say that Marcel was wrong for his opinion or how he feels. All I'm going to address is the fact that when it comes to holding somebody accountable, when it comes to checking disrespect, we are very, and when I say we, you know what I mean, we are very uneven. We are very one-sided when it comes to addressing disrespect because in certain rooms other people can slander and disrespect people in their spaces and in yours all they want to, and that disrespect barely ever, if at all, gets addressed. But yet you want to, police everybody else's disrespect. If you want, hey, if you're gonna be the person who's addressing what you feel is disrespectful, okay, then don't be running to somebody's defense when they're trying to address other people who are disrespectful. That's all I'm gonna say. If we're gonna check Rich, we're gonna check everybody. Nobody's above being corrected, but we're not gonna play this one-sided. Okay, I'm gonna come over to the B1 side and I'm gonna check y'all. No, that's not what's gonna happen.
Afro was rich and immigrant.
Yeah, Rich is Haitian. Rich was born in America, but his parents are both Haitian. FBA Antonio, you can go ahead, and I appreciate your patience.
No doubt, no doubt. Black First family. I was in that last space. I'm gonna just cut to the topic because I ain't gonna throw it all the way off. Um, so basically, just to recapitulate some of the if you listen to the last space, you'll probably hear me say some of the same shit stuff, and which was I was trying to explain to them because the title can broke or should broke black men lead. You dig what I'm saying? Um, I was trying to express to them that there are different areas of leadership that require different levels of social economic status. That's the point I was trying to drive home. You dig what I'm saying? Like, so when it was brought up that they were specifying as far as grassroots leadership, like individuals contributing to the movement, that's the leadership that they were talking about. Because if you're just gonna title it in a certain way, bro, it's hundreds of ways that I can disagree with. But as far as that, let me just continue. Um, Poor people adding $20 to $30 to a movement that does not make them leader. Just as much as a person who donates $1 million doesn't necessarily make them a leader. They're both contributors to whoever that they're in support of, who is the leader. They're just contributors. They're contributing. So I kept hearing like, well, $2 and $3 towards the campaign and this and that. Dude, they're contributing to the cause. We support that, but that does not make you a leader for doing that. In terms of non-financial grassroots leadership, like I said, you don't need to necessarily have have money. You dig what I'm saying? Like you don't have to have money in the inception of the movement, but they kept bringing up Black Panthers and things like that. You said this when I first came in here.
You know what I'm saying, Afro? At some point, though, finances are going to be necessary, okay, in order to sustain the movement. Because you got to arm yourself, Black Panthers. You got to feed the community, Black Panthers. You got to be able to commute back and forth between cities and states. That's finance. You got to be able to purchase the building in order to have those conferences. That's all examples of you know what I'm saying? Your leadership will have to be coupled with your financial capacity in order to sustain the movement. And what was my last point? You know what I'm saying? I think that's it, bro. I can't remember my last point, but that's it. I'm gonna land right there.
Yeah, I know you've
Yeah, I
been
know you've
waiting
been
for a
waiting
minute.
for a minute.
So
Yeah. It's all good.
yeah, my fault. We passionate in here. Mikael, you can go ahead. Thank you very much, Fe Antonio. Mikael, you can go ahead.
Greetings, great family, brother Afro Elite. Before you close it, I just want to send a message out to the kings in the room. Never trust a politician who wasn't a grassroots activist first. If a politician goes into the business, or if a man goes or a woman goes into the business of politics based on money, he's going to sell out quick. He's going to be of that boule crowd quick. Politics, activism turned upside down. If your message or your narrative is resonating with the grassroots, the lobbyists, the money folks will find you. There's no shortage of money in this world, but everything starts with the grassroots. A smart politician will listen to what the grassroots leaders are doing and build and bring them into the fold and develop them as leaders on the next level. Our brother Tyreek, our brother Jason Black, they were activists first. Didn't mean that they wasn't looking at how they could monetize the activism, because his brother Afro Lee saying what he's saying is correct. You have to monetize. But nonetheless, everything starts from the grassroots. And I'm speaking from a position of experience. Stay great and keep that jab in their face. Thank you.
Oh wait. Oh, I'm talking. I was muted. I'm talking. I was muted. Okay. Well, thank you very much, brothers and sisters, for being here. I'm gonna let everybody get the speakers get their last words. I've been here for much longer than I planned on being here. But Scotty P, you just requested. You can come. You can. Where'd you go? I just requested. Maybe you dropped out. Oh, there he is. Scotty P, you can go ahead, get your last words in about the topic, please.
Okay, well, shit, I was just going to address something you said, but I'm gonna keep it on the topic. Why broke man can't lead? Shit, I believe shit. If you're a coward, you still broken spiritually, and you can't lead regardless. You know what I'm saying? No matter how much money you got. You know what I mean?
Yep. All right. You can't just be financially rich. You got to be like rich in the heart, rich in your spirit. You got to have that powerful righteous spirit to lead people to righteousness. Agreed, 100%. East side, you can go ahead. FBA Antonio, you can go ahead.
Man, my last word is I think because some individuals got a lot of animosity towards you. You dig what I'm saying? They'll take some simple shit and then try to remix that, and then you know what? Let's rally around this and him. You know what I'm saying? I think that shit kind of whack. But when I seen the tweet, man, I'm like, dude, this came from the business podcast, you know, and people that subscribe to Black First, they didn't heard this shit or had it broken down to them in a way. But you know, it was remixed to say, well, why can't there be leaders? You know, you don't have to be rich or whatever. You don't have to be wealthy. It's like, dude, you just don't have to be broke. That's what it said. And I just support that mindset because, dude, why wouldn't we want to have economic power? Why wouldn't we want to have that? It's like, and the crazy contradiction to me, and I'll land right here, is the amount of women that were in support of, well, you can be broke, a man can be broke. Say that shit to him. Why? Who your man? That's all. Who you going with? Because a lot of y'all don't want no broke man in your household. You don't even want to be involved with them. I mean, the business is doing. They've been interviewing those females recently. All of them talking about 120,000, this, that. They ain't fucking with no nigga that's making the average 50,000, less than that. Those are people who, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they could be part of a movement, but the same women that support them being part of the movement, they don't want to be booed up with them. I'll land right there, man.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm gonna say like this: that just because a woman might support what you say, you might be on code. She might share your tweets and everything like that. If you say, "Hey, you want to go for a drink?" Oh, hell no. Oh no. Oh, I'm not interested in you like that at all.
Come on, man.
Please don't make that mistake. Delete my number. Actually, I'm gonna unfollow you on Twitter.
Right.
Yeah, the same women you thinking here. Oh, I'm attracting all of these women just based off of my charm and my funny and my sense of humor alone and my knowledge.
Listen,
Mm,
let me say this last point right quick. We can play the socially conscious individual that's just broke as hell, sister. You like him for what you like him for, cause that brother, no matter how handsome he look, you ain't gonna take him seriously after the first week, after you want to go downtown and eat, after he ain't got the car to come pick you up. So when JB talk about being a woman's social leader, financial leader, you gotta get your weight up. You gotta get your weight up. We as black men, shouldn't we be trying to do that? And I think that we can do that as well as be a part of movements. I don't think that we should encourage men to just stay still and be complacent with being broke. That's not how we gonna lead, man. That's not how we gonna compete. But yeah, I'm landing right
yes,
there.
of course. I gotta address a couple things you say. Now, as far as the women go, we got some amazing conscious women out here, who are looking for a conscious brother. But you being conscious is not enough. When you pick her up for the first date and y'all drive to the restaurant or whatever, and your car don't have AC, she might not say anything. Y'all might have the best conversation. You drop her off back at the house. She be all like, "Oh my God, I respect everything you say and you do for our people, and we definitely gonna get these reparations." Yeah, you're absolutely right. So, when are you available for a second date? Oh well, I'm just trying to, I'm gonna just do me for myself. I'm just gonna focus on myself right now. I don't know if I'm ready to date anybody. It was great. I still support you. I'm still gonna follow you on Twitter and Instagram, but
Yeah, get
I'm
that
just I'm
follow
just
on
not ready to
Twitter.
date right now. Yeah, that's what they gonna be saying. Okay, you pick the girl up and her edges sweat out. That's gonna be the last time she hop in your car. That's gonna be the last time. Oh Lord. Now I want to say this though. I will say this. Um, as far as that tweet being misinterpreted, I'm not gonna lie. That was a very simple tweet. I find it very hard to believe that y'all on Twitter, y'all see tweets just like this on a daily basis, and all of a sudden my tweet got misinterpreted. Mine specifically. It seems to me like y'all just wanted to say something and y'all just wanted a reason to say something. That's kind of what it seems like to me. Trust me, if y'all don't think I'm aware of some of the low-key haters that be stalking me and following me around, that be dissing me on the low. I see y'all. I don't say anything because it don't really matter. But I see y'all. Y'all look. Oh, Afro. So are you saying that if you are not rich, you are going to hell? Is that what you're saying? That's pretty off code. You sound like a white supremacist, Afro. What? How did you reach that far and take it that far? No, it sounds like you wanted to say something for a minute. That's what it sounds like to me. And I see you. I see y'all who did that. Y'all been wanting to say something for a while. Okay. All right. But East Side, you can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thanks, brother. Um, I was gonna actually mention that part. That they've been feeling that way the whole time. But I'm gonna say this, man. Like you said earlier, I ain't trying to talk to no woman unless I got my finances in order. If I ain't making at least six figures, I got to be able to take care of two households before I approach a woman. That's just me, though. And I'm gonna land my plane there.
Yes, sir. Get your weight up. Yes, sir. Um, Elevation Allah, you can go ahead.
Yes, sir. With what you said is 100% right in that. There's nothing wrong with the accuracy or the factual nature of what you said. However, are you aware that Marcel got fired from his job?
Yes.
Okay. So, from that perspective, that point of view, to be fired from your job after taking up our mantle, our agenda, repeating our talking points, that could be perceived as an insult. And we all know, or at least we should know, perception is reality. So sometimes the truth out of season, can get a person killed. That's just this old cliche. Old folks say it. But I think that's really why you got the reaction from him that you did. And with that, so I yield the mic.
Well, is my question is Marcel broke? He got fired from his job because he went on a campaign to do something for his people, which is noble of him to do. But it's not like Marcel is struggling because he was fighting for his people like that. At a point in time, he was. But I'm not looking at this on an individual anecdotal level.
Right.
Okay. I'm not saying that you can't be a good person if you're broke. That's not the case. And a lot of good people are broke, and that's unfortunate. But
Right.
hey, you can't fly if you don't have wings. I'm sorry for whatever reason you don't have them. You don't have them. I'm
Right.
sorry that happened to you. But if you don't have them, you can't fly. That's just the reality of it. And I hate to be the one to tell you, but that's what it is. As a black man, you're not leading nothing. You don't got the room to call no
Well,
shots.
you know what?
And
I'm gonna tell
all
you
of the
what
black
happened.
and before I say this, all of the black men who do have their stuff together, they all say the same thing. There's not a single black man who has his shit together who won't tell you the same thing.
And Mr. Afro Lee, you're 100% right. Exactly. At one point in time when I was younger, I used to look at anybody who still had a slave name as being a slave. I didn't want to associate with them. If you still ate pork, I wouldn't fuck with you. So as I got older, I started seeing, okay, maybe I'm a little bit too strict. You know what I'm saying? Some people still got slave names, but they might be good people, but they got the white man name. But nevertheless, so we all got to come to our own conclusion in life, brother. But what you're saying is 100% right and exact. It's nothing but the black authorities talking points, and it's the business, and I'm with it 100%. It's just the timing may or may not have been off in this situation, in my opinion. I yield the mic, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you speaking, brother. I want to get to brother Rich.
Let me say this real quick. A lot of these dudes, they pretend that they have a problem with what Afro says or what Rich says. They don't really have a problem. They just don't like us. And see, I don't respect that. If you don't like me, just stay away from me. See, I don't like none of you niggas. I don't. That's why I don't go in your Twitter spaces. You could tell I don't like you. I don't go in none of your Twitter spaces. You never catch Rich in the other side's Twitter space. But you niggas, y'all like to nitpick. I don't like that tweet. I don't like that you said nigga. I don't like that you did this. Nigga, just say you don't like me, nigga. Cause I'ma respect it. If you just say, yo, you know what, I don't like you. I'ma respect it. But when you come around and you try to nitpick what everybody says, you come into Twitter space when we 5 hours into Twitter space and you just heard 15 minutes and you disagree with the last 15 minutes I said. You didn't even listen to the everything I said for the last 4 hours. That just shows you just don't like me. If you don't like me, that's cool. I know I don't like a lot of you niggas, but pretending that you have a problem with what I say or what Afro says when you really don't just don't like us, because every week they don't like something Afro says. Every week, so they comment. Oh, I don't like what he's. Remember the first time, Afro, when they said they didn't like that you asked the question. What was the question again? When we had that Twitter
Can
space.
black people be too emotional, or are black people too emotional?
Yeah, every week they don't like something what Afro says. Every single week. Just keep it 100. Y'all niggas is like too soft for me. Just say you don't like the nigga. Just say it. Stop pretending like you don't like his intellect. You don't like his intelligence. Just keep it real. Say you don't like him and stay away from him. I don't go in your Twitter space. You don't catch Rich in those Twitter spaces because I don't like you niggas. None of y'all. None of y'all say anything that sounds good to me. I stay with my circle. I'm with Afro. I'm with Rilla. I'm with Jay Winfield. I'm with Ryan. That's who I hang with. And one last thing I want to say: these people, they keep saying, "Oh, rich people didn't donate to my campaign." Duh. That's why Afro is saying what he's saying. He's talking to the B1 folks. He's telling the B1 folks, "Hey, you guys have the will, but y'all need the money." That's what he's telling. That's why he's saying what he's saying. He's saying, "Okay, we have the will, we have the spirit, but we don't have the money. Let's go get the money." The problem is the black folks in America with money, they don't have the will. We have the will, but we don't have the money. That's exactly what Afro was saying. So when this dude says, "Oh, rich, there's nobody rich that donated to me," we know that. That's why we're telling our people, the conscious folks in the black community, we telling them to get their money up because they already have the will, but they don't have the money. The P Diddy's, the Jay-Z's, they have the money, but they don't have the will. So of course they're not gonna donate to your cause because they don't have the will. And I'll land right there.
All I'm gonna say is, yeah, I definitely noticed that. I definitely noticed that the people who always have something negative and pushback to give me, and I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I don't deserve pushback. I'm not saying I can't be corrected. But I'm talking about is every little thing. Then the next thing you know is blown out of proportion. I could say, you know what? We should all go outside and breathe fresh air today. It will be somebody coming up like, Afro, you know what? I have asthma, and I found that tweet very offensive, and I suspect you of being an FBI agent. It would it would literally be people saying that, and I'm like, well, you know what? I'm not trying to hurt anybody. It could be me saying, you know what? Everybody, get up and make sure you stretch when you wake up in the morning. Well, Afro, actually, my leg got amputated because of my diabetes. And I felt like that was really off code for you to say that. Oh my God. I literally can't say nothing. And they always running in here. I like you. I like you. I just want you to know, everything you say, I disagree with. I'm hating on everything you say, but
Afro,
I do like you.
Afro,
Oh, I see y'all.
Afro, you got your haters in here right now.
I see them.
Dudes
I
could
see.
be they be tweeting you all damn day about how they don't like you, but they're listening right now with their dirty ass ears. Go clean your ears, nigga. Why are you in Afro space if you don't like the nigga? That means you really
Mr. Gill,
like him.
can I ask you a question, sir? Can I
Go
ask you a
ahead.
question, Mr. Gill? Okay,
Go ahead.
number one, I want to say, yeah, I appreciate the advice that you gave to the B1 family. It seemed that's very constructive advice. Being that you're Haitian, do you ever host any spaces where you're giving the same type of advice to your Haitian brethren? Question mark.
What type of advice? Like what?
The same thing you just told us, sir.
Okay. Most Haitians are not even on Twitter. Like they're just like one or two of them, but a group of Haitians on Twitter, you won't find that. Haitians, they speak Creole. They don't even most of them don't even speak English. But and another thing is a lot of
Is that
people
a
have
yes or no,
let me
sir?
answer
Is
this.
that a
Let me
yes
say
or
this.
no, sir?
Let me say
Is
this.
that a yes or no, sir?
No. Let me say
Okay.
this. A lot of people have a problem with Rich speaking in FBA spaces because their thing is like, oh, why you don't speak to Haitians? Dude, if Haitians were on code, that's where I would be. I'm over here because this is the group of people who's on code. What do I look like speaking to a group of people who don't want to get on code? Doesn't it make sense to
Can
hang
I
with the
address
people?
that?
Hold on, let me just finish saying what I'm saying. I'm gonna let you address that. Doesn't it make sense to hang with the group of people who are already on code and build with them? I know my people. Then they're not interested in getting on code. If they were, I would have been with them right there, not with you guys. That's where I would have been, but they're not interested in getting on code. So where do I hang? I hang with people who are already on code and I'm ready to put in the work. That's why I'm here. Just to answer your question. And other people had that problem. They kept saying, what is Rich doing? Why he's not with the Haitians? Da, 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 da. These niggas is shooting up every damn thing in New York City. Do you think they want to hear about FBA or B1 or being on code?
Elevation Allah, you can go ahead. Then we'll go to my brother, MP1.
Okay. So, Rich, I have seen a lot of Haitians online. However, in the past maybe 12 to 18 months, a lot of those flags have been taken down and they're not in the bios anymore. So, but as far as them not being on code, I can respect that because they weren't on code when they killed Dessalines and they ended up having to pay France back all that reparation money. So I respect that, sir. Thank you. I yield the mic.
The thing is, I know my people. Like, I'm not one of those dudes where I'm like, I'm just sitting here not accepting the truth. I look myself in the mirror every day and tell myself the truth. I know
They're
my,
broken. They're
huh?
bug broken. They're bug broken.
Yeah, but we're not gonna keep the space open too much longer. I know I said that like 30 minutes ago, but I really want to get to the last few speakers.
Thank
MP1,
you,
you can
sir.
go ahead. Well, thank you very much, Elevation Allah.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, salute to you, Afro Elite, for opening the space, and you know, um, but as far as why broke black men can't lead, like I believe, a black man that doesn't have his finances together, you know, he's really not in the position to lead. You can do your best, but you're gonna be half ass, and you're not gonna be able to put your all into your leadership position. And I agree with you wholeheartedly with what you were saying to Marcel about, you can do both. You supposed to, as a man, you supposed to be building yourself up to be financially stable while you productive and building for your community or doing activism work or whatever you're doing. So, nobody should just be broke, you know, and you trying to lead something. You can't even lead your household the way you want. You can't do what you need to do. And I understood what Marcel was saying as well, broke, a lot of men that didn't have the finances, they used other ways to, basically, do what they had to do to have they impact on the community. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, like you were saying, Afro Elite, if we got the finances, picture the push we can give if our finances are together, you know, the push we can give, the things we could do for our community, especially as a man, if you got a family, you want to be in a leading position and taking care of your family by any means. So definitely, I believe you still have leadership qualities, and I believe you could lead, in your own way, when you don't have your finances together. But that should be the ultimate goal, so you can lead to your best ability and lead to your greatest potential. Because a leader that's headstrong and got his finances together, like somebody else said, when they come at you with propositions for money, if your money already together, they can't proposition you to turn on your community. And as far as that's what they do to us. That's the reason they don't want to give us reparations, because they understand, like you were saying in another space, Afro Elite, like it might be 300,000 or whatever we get for reparations, a piece of whatever we get. But if you got a bunch of foundational Black Americans that got that type of money, we could do a whole bunch in the community at that point. And that's what they're scared of. That's why they really don't want to give us reparations, but we're gonna keep fighting for reparations. That's why they always targeted us, you know, um, when we ever got our economics together. Anytime we had our economics together, we was a threat. That's why they burnt down all our great neighborhoods that we built all across America in the late 1800s, early 1900s. That's why they targeted the Tulsa, Oklahomas, the Durham, North Carolinas, and all that. That's why they targeted us like that, because they knew once we had our finances together, we was gonna be in better leadership positions. We was gonna take over different government positions, and then eventually, they couldn't hold us back anymore. That's why, I know we foundational Black America, but even saying, even other countries and other Black countries, that's why they hold them down economically. They don't want any Black people on this planet to be economically sound to compete with them and possibly get under the thumb of white supremacy. And with that, I salute everybody in our land.
Thank you very much. And that's the entire point I was making. I didn't disagree with Marcel when he was saying, when he was speaking on all of the grievances our people go through. I didn't disagree at all. Those of you guys who have known me for a while, you all know for a fact I speak on that on the regular basis. I'm always talking about how much we're suppressed and undermined and victimized by white supremacy. I'm always giving you guys the numbers about, the business statistics, the loans and incarceration rates. You guys know me for that. You guys know that I do that all the time. However, even though that is the reality, that's still not a reason for you to be broke, or you to be complacent with being broke. And I feel like that's the bigger thing. You being complacent with being broke. We can't afford to do that anymore. Okay? As I was saying, like, if we for the people who donated $5, let's say if less they could afford $50. Can you imagine what type of funds he would have for his campaign, or anybody for that matter? Can you imagine what type of funds you would have when we struggling to, something happened, and we need people to donate to this GoFundMe for this brother's hospital bills? Imagine if we had 10 people who made six figures, and they was all like, okay, I'm a chip in a few $1,000, instead of people who are barely struggling who like, well, I got $7 to give, versus somebody who says I got $7,000 to give. That's the position that we need to be striving for. You can't pull people up if you're behind them. You can't help people. You can't save a drowning person if you're drowning. You can't help a poor person. A homeless person can't do nothing beneficial to another homeless person. If I'm homeless and you homeless, but you got a tent and I don't, how am I supposed to help you? I got to get my stuff together. I can't do it. If I'm bleeding out, how am I supposed to patch you up? We got to get ourselves together if you really want to help your people. And this isn't saying we take focus off of reparations. Of course, every single day, we own it with reparations. We don't miss a beat with reparations ever. But we can do two things at one time. We can definitely do two things at one time. I appreciate you speaking, MP1. I appreciate everybody speaking. I appreciate everybody who's been listening. I've been on a little bit longer. Marcel, me and Marcel, we had a disagreement in the beginning of the space, and then him and we talked it out, and we got to the bottom of it civilly. It wasn't a, well, you know what, Marcel, well, damn you then, and I ain't gonna support you. No, it wasn't none of that. We still brothers in the same struggle together. We just have a disagreement, and this is how you handle disagreements. It wasn't no messy me and Marcel going back and forth for days on Twitter, on the timeline, throwing little shots at each other. Me and Marcel didn't do that. Marcel, we had a disagreement. We talked it out in the space in front of hundreds of people, or 100+ people, and that's it. And now we all focused. We're all focused. Elevation Allah, you can go ahead, and then I'm gonna close it out.
Yes, sir. So, the Notorious Big, or Biggie Smalls, he dropped a record called "Who Shot You." This was back in the '90s, and it was around the time Tupac got shot, and he claimed that it wasn't about Tupac, but because of the timing of it, the perception could be that yes, it was. But so that timing may have been off. But I just want to throw that out there, and I yield the mic, sir.
What? Okay. I don't know what you mean. You said what time? What time? What do you? I'm not sure what you mean.
It was real clear. Tupac got shot. A record
No,
called "Who Shot You."
I get it. I get about that part. But what are you talking about the time as far as the tweet?
I already mentioned that to you. Previous I spoke. I said it could have been the timing of your tweet that could have been off with
So
him
okay,
getting fired.
I would disagree. Hold on, I would disagree with that because Marcel and I know I've supported Marcel's campaign. You know, I'm the dude who drove to South Carolina, but and I'm not saying that to flex. I'm just saying that to say Marcel's been fired. It's not like he got fired yesterday, and then saw that tweet, and then he felt some type of way. Marcel been lost that job, and then he's been doing something else. So you know, I feel like it might have been another reason why that tweet got the reception that it did from certain people. That's all I'm gonna say about it. But me and Marcel, we talked it out, and now everything is straight. He didn't
Yes,
understand
sir.
what I meant by the tweet, and I was on the space. I told him what I meant. We both agreed, and then that was that. So that was it. It was a misunderstanding on his part, and that's all that was. All right. But brothers and sisters, you can follow me on my Twitter page. If you're new to my Twitter page, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can just click on my page and the YouTube channel is right there. You can subscribe on my YouTube channel. If you didn't watch this from the playback, it's being recorded so you can watch the entire thing again. Also, too, I also do put these on my YouTube channel. So look forward to that. So you go subscribe to the Afro Elite YouTube channel. Also, I'm doing a broadcast Thursday. There's some things I definitely want to discuss Thursday. So make sure you're there 7 p.m. Central on Thursday. Well, it might be 7 or 8 because I don't want to say 7 and it's 7:15. I'm like, see, Afro, this is why you're an FBI agent, Afro. You're never on time. So I don't want people to say that. Okay, so make sure you watch. Stay looking out Thursday, brothers and sisters. Um, get your weight up. That's all I'm gonna say. Get your weight up, brothers and sisters, especially for the brothers out there who inspire to lead and become powerful black men that we know we are. You know, much love to every single last one of you all. You all have a good night.